Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Open Bottle Discussions. I'm here with the people that I was here with last time, Ty, Matt. Say what's up, guys.
What's up? What's up?
All right, so today we're gonna start off with Drake's new album, Scorpion, and we're gonna dive into that, and we'll see where we go from there. So I'm gonna let Ty kind of go off with the first shit. So,
Well, it's a double album, it does not work ever. The first half was rap, the second half was R&B. The first half was naturally good, and the second half was naturally trash. I think he's putting out a double album because I think his contract, along with Wayne's going through Birdman's, I think his contract's about up with Cash Money Records also. That's what I think. But the rap side was fucking phenomenal. I'm not a Drake fan at all. I think everything before this, minus like an album and a half, is complete trash. More Life was trash. Views was fucking trash. But
oh
this one
shit,
was
I
alright.
forgot about Views.
Yeah, Views was fucking Views
Yeah.
is the one everybody was hyped for because it was right after fucking the Meek beef.
I bet you this shit. No, I feel like this
And it
shit was.
sold, what, 1 point, like fucking like 1 point something million copies first week.
Yeah.
Like hard copies, I think. I think it wasn't that before the streaming came into sales play?
Wait,
Or
which
no?
one? I'm sorry.
Views.
Views? I thought it sold 900,000 first week.
No, it was like 1 point something million.
Oh yeah, I guess it was because
Yeah,
Adele
'cause
sold
second
like
week he
3
sold-
something.
well, second week he sold just about 1 million also.
Yeah, a lot of it was streaming.
Yeah, Adele sold fucking 3 like 0.2 million.
Yeah. Well, it's on sale, or it's on pace to sell 950,000 first week for Scorpion. You know that, right?
952,000?
950,000 around that area.
What did More Life sell? Like 500?
Yeah.
Yeah, More Life. I feel like everybody's kind of hyped for that. I feel like nobody was hyped for this.
Well,
feel
I
like
mean, 950,000 records first week versus Jay-Z and Beyonce's album, which did 180,000.
oh yeah, it's,
And then Post
I'm
Malone's
surprised
did
about that.
480 some.
yeah. Fuck
So
that.
Drake's kind of going through over like J. Cole did
It was a
400,000.
double album.
I think they did a double album because the lawsuit that was going through with Wayne and everything.
Yeah, so it
Universal said that they're going to recoup from Drake and Nicki, so I think they wanted to put out a big project so that they could get their money back faster.
Yeah, and then go ahead and cut ties with all that shit.
And people are trying to put out a lot of records now because of streaming numbers. So
Well,
the more records you have, the more it goes towards
I hate
your.
to say, but double albums don't do well. Like
I
the
know.
only double album I liked was Wu-Tang. So I mean,
You like Chris Brown's? Chris
it
Brown's
a
was.
double album. Chris Brown's was one solid album.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just as many songs, but and he did
It's the
some
same
pretty
idea,
cool- he
just
said
two
so
different
many-
names.
Huh?
It's the same kind of idea, just two
guess.
different names for it. It's just a fuckload of songs all at once. It's literally
There's
this
a good
new
amount of
tactic.
time in between the album before it, like, where he could have dropped 2 albums and then made that whole album. He pretty much like, I could drop this album now, or I could just wait and put 2 of them out together. It's like Future fucking did. He just waited
Yeah.
a week apart. Virtually, that's the same, like same as that. There's a little bit more strategy with Drake's double album though. But I'll talk about the songs.
Yeah,
I'm only gonna talk about we're only gonna talk about the rap songs. I'm not talking
Yeah,
about
I
the
don't
fucking
care about the
R&B side.
R&B.
Survival. We're gonna talk about the fucking things that you don't count as responses to Pusha T, but are clearly responses because if he's gonna address something because of what somebody else said to him,
I would say
whether
that
it's directly to him
addressing-
or not, it's a response.
I would say that it's addressing a response
It's
to
not
me.
addressing.
A
Pusha T
response to
sh-
me. A response to me is somebody going directly at that
no,
person.
responding. Like
so,
if you say something about me and then somebody asks about it and I say something about you say something about me, that's me responding to what you said.
not directly
your
to he
response
wasn't he
But
wasn't
still a
responding,
fucking response.
but he wasn't responding directly
It's
to
still a
Pusha.
response.
But it wasn't like
It's
directly
still
to
a
Pusha.
response. It's a response. You
Okay.
responded. To
I
what
think
was
it's
said about
he
you.
addressed it.
It's the same fucking thing. You addressed what was said about you, or you responded to what was said about you. What's the difference?
Well, me responding would be to respond to that specific person. That's the way that I
It's
take
the
it.
same fucking word.
Okay, well, it definitely
if
wasn't.
I-
Either way, it definitely wasn't the shit that it was supposed to be.
No, because he didn't have anything. He didn't have anything hard. But Pusha T shook him in his fucking boots, and he made Drake explain to the world, like those flaws. Drake had to explain to the entire world because Pusha T exposed him. And then like you get the song, what was it, Emotionless, where he talks about like this is what he did with, and I was watching somebody else talk about this, saying how when he put out God's Plan,
Mm-hmm.
and it was all about like donating money and stuff like that, and then he put out a song Nice for What, which is like empowering black women and shit like that. And they said he was hyping up for the fucking L he was about to take for
Yeah.
from Pusha T, because they were like, oh yeah, make yourself look real good right before you look like total shit. Like maybe it'll ease the blow. But he did it in the same song, Emotionless, which is fucking good ass song. And the shit he says is real, but he says all this great stuff leading up to him saying, I wasn't hiding my son from the world, I was hiding the world from my son.
Yeah.
That
No, I
is
heard
a
that.
clear
I did hear
response
that.
to
Yeah.
Pusha T, because
Yeah.
Pusha T said you were hiding a child.
Okay, there was
And he made all this like great things, like this girl had a dream to go to Rome, but all she went there to do was take pictures and post it so she can like make her friends jealous and shit. And he's like making the world sound like a bad place so he can lead up to that.
Okay.
It's a clear response to Pusha T. He's explaining himself.
all right. So you're right.
He's a grown man that has to explain to everybody in the entire world his business because of what
All right.
was said before.
I'll give you that. Okay, you're right.
There's more than one.
You're right.
There's
There
more
is
than
actually
just that
multiple
song.
because I was listening to it because
8
Drake,
out of 10.
Drake
Look at
put
the
out
end of 8
Drake
out of
put
10.
out a thing. There was allegedly that Drake put out $100,000 for any information on Pusha T so he could come back with a response.
Yeah,
and that was addressed where he said $100,000 for revenge, something like
It's
chump
not an
change,
expense
or
to me.
It's not as expense. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, I was listening. I was like, but I didn't know how to take that. I wasn't. Was he saying?
well,
Like,
because
I'll
Pusha
pay
put
that.
that. Well, Pusha put that out. He was like, "Oh, you
Yeah,
know,
but
pay
when
100.
he's saying like, yeah, I did it, but it didn't call it did like 100,000 is nothing to me. Is that
Well,
what
I
you're
feel like
saying?
this whole this
Or
whole
was he
album.
saying I wouldn't bother with an expense like that.
Well, I feel like this whole no. I feel like he was this whole album to me. The rap side was Drake just kind of flexing with his money and his spot that he has.
Some of them, but then he's at
feel
that
like a
song
lot of them were.
Sandra's Rose. Okay, Sandy.
That's like one
Marriage
of
is
few.
something that Sandy never had. Drake, come on, he made a whole fucking song called Sandra's Rose, talking about he's Sandra's Rose and he drug her out of the fucking slums and shit like that. Like, that's a whole song, dude. Like
Yeah.
responding.
Yeah, but most
But
of the song was him kind of
I've-
flexing his power where he's at.
One of my favorite lines, and he says, "My Mount Rushmore is different expressions of me."
Yeah.
that was nice.
Yeah.
That was in Survival. Oh, it got Nonstop. I didn't like that a whole lot.
Was that the one where? Oh no, I like that. I like my favorite part where he's like, "This a rolling, not a stop. Watch shit
Yeah.
don't ever." That's what I'm talking about. Like the
Yeah,
the
that was,
flex inside of the
I mean,
shit.
he's got like the whole rap side was good, and yeah, Elevate.
Elevate was good. It's just
Yeah.
that wasn't my favorite one.
Yeah, it was
It's kind of like one of those ones that gets old
pretty
after
much
you
from
play it.
Emotionless
Real quick.
down. The rest of them are like incredible.
My favorite fucking song on there was Mob Ties.
God's Plan is a little worn out, but I'm upset. I like that one. I like the video because they had
Yeah, all the
Jay and
Degrassi.
Silent Bob.
Wait, I'm upset. That had the Degrassi people in it.
Yeah, Jay and Silent
Yeah,
Bob
okay,
were in
gotcha.
Degrassi.
Yeah.
Hold up. Jane, Silent Bob were in Degrassi.
Yeah, it wasn't a whole lot of episodes, but they were in it.
I had no idea. Like Kevin Smith was in Degrassi.
Kevin Smith was in Degrassi.
I thought he self-made himself by like selling his entire comic book collection to start. What's his first movie called?
Oh, it's not Clerks. There's Clerks. I know his biggest movies were Clerks 1 and 2, Chasing Amy. There's a fourth one. I can't remember what the
Yeah,
first thing he did was.
I remember watching because he has that show Comic Book Man, and I vividly remember him
YouTube
saying,
show?
"Huh?
The YouTube show.
No, it's on
He's got a podcast. He actually has like
AMC.
a whole live
Yeah,
audience.
no, but I remember him specifically saying like I sold my entire comic book collection to start that movie. Never mind. It's nothing. It's not relevant. But
They were both in Degrassi.
yeah.
They
Okay.
were in the Drake video.
Okay,
That's a
cool.
good look too, because Kevin Smith is hot right now. He's like, he just had a heart attack. He's got that awesome podcast. You didn't know Kevin Smith had a heart attack?
No.
Yeah, he almost died.
Holy shit! When did that
100%.
happen?
It was months ago. 100% blockage,
Holy shit!
and he was sweating and he was like real tired and stuff. He
Yeah.
was saying, and then he was doing shows. He was, I don't know, I guess it was comedy maybe,
Uh-huh.
and he was supposed to do 2 in a row. But then like in between when he was taking his break, they called the ambulance. Ambulance. That was the dumbest fucking thing.
Get an ambulance.
But they get there and I guess he said luckily they were close by to a like good heart doctor,
Yeah.
like one of the best actually.
Yeah.
And they took him over there and they're like, so you got 100% blockage. And he's like, and your ratio of living right now is like 80 to 20.
Holy shit! Like 80%, he could have died.
Yeah, 80-20.
Holy shit!
Like he could have died. 80% chance he was gonna die. 20% chance he was gonna live.
That's pretty fucking scary.
But the doctors was like, but you're gonna be in that 20% because good for you. Is like, I'm really good at my job.
I don't mean to
stuck a
brag.
stent up through his groin and just open that shit up and just let it all out.
Yeah.
Like, I could breathe again. But yeah, he lost and he went vegan. And he
Oh,
just
yeah.
lost like 60 fucking pounds.
Well,
or some shit
he
like that.
was a
real
big
skinny
dude.
now.
He
like,
was a
skinny.
big dude when
He's
he
real skinny now.
Well, good for him. I mean, that shit, like, it definitely takes something major to,
He's
like,
like
a big
he's like, odds
wake up
of, like
call.
every time you leave the house, you got like a 50-50 chance of making it back.
That's true.
He's like, I've never faced 80-20.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking, especially with someone that, like, made himself, like Kevin Smith, and to just have that all stop, like, I'd say kind of in the peak of his career, kind of not, but I mean, the man's still rolling, and he's still making good money, but for him to would have passed away, and he has a daughter and stuff, that would have been
Yeah, it
catastrophic.
And I told him he was like, 100% blockage. He's like, this shit starts when you were a kid. He was like, I was just like a fat fuck eating Twinkies and shit when I was fucking 6. And but back to Scorpion.
Yeah. So I said like my favorite song on that shit was Mob Ties. I want to know your opinion if you think that song sounded like Young Thug was sitting in the studio with him writing that shit.
I think it sounded more like Migos.
Really?
Yeah, hell yeah.
I like the
Him
sick
and
of that
Migos are
shit.
tight.
Uh,
Thug is like.
I feel like that was a Thug
Thug's a
thing.
little more extravagant. I don't know. Migos are like. Migos got the whole like. Fucking. They got a lot more of those extra noises in there, and that's what Drake
I
had.
don't know, just that flow. And
I'm not
then
saying
when
that they
Drake
did that, but I would
yeah.
not be surprised if Quavo's like add some brrr to it.
Yeah, I don't know. It just reminded me of Thug a lot. The way he went with that high pitch in
It
certain
was
areas.
a good song though.
I like that one. And
8 out of 10 was so fucking incredible. Remember the end of it?
That was good.
The chick was like, or whoever it was, like, I don't get paid to argue.
That
with
wasn't
you.
a chick. That was
it was from something.
yeah,
I feel
it's from
bad
an
now 'cause I'm looking
Instagram.
stupid.
It's from an Instagram. It was from something on Instagram. It was some famous dude, and I can't remember who it was. I wish I had my phone. I must have left it in there.
You're mad.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm happy. I'm just trying to get money.
And then Can't Take a Joke.
That was a good
So
ass
Mob Ties
song.
and Can't Take a Joke were like my two favorite songs off that.
Talk Up. I like that because isn't the last time? No, they did Pound. Drake and Jay-Z had that song called Light Up. That was on Thank Me Later, and then this one's called Talk Up.
So
and Jay-Z said, what did he say? He said, y'all killed X, but
Let Zimmerman live.
Let Zimmerman live. The streets
is done. Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
nice.
See, but I thought that a couple weeks ago, we thought that Jay-Z was addressing Drake on some stuff. So it was a little bit surprising to me.
Not even just a couple weeks ago, dude. They've been doing this for a couple years.
Yeah, I
apparently.
know.
Subliminal shouts
But
back
just
and
last
forth.
week, I'm pretty sure it was just last week, Jay put out a song and he was talking about Tidal and Apple Music and how Drake turned down Tidal with Apple Music.
Yeah,
He's
and he was like, "You wanna work for
coulda been
somebody
a boss,
else."
but you could have been.
So
you
we
could have
could've been-
worked for me.
you
but
coulda worked
chose
with
to
me.
work for. You could have worked with me, but you chose to work for the man.
Yeah, something like that. But
And that-
but you know that this
I
verse is
thought
fresh
was
because it talks about X.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, okay, maybe it's like an older song that Drake just had saved for
Yeah.
this album, but it wasn't.
I wonder if that was a last minute decision to throw Jay on there.
Well,
that's
it's
like-
two things happen. One, they just like back and forth has just been for publicity, and they're gonna bank off this song. Or two, they both were like, "Fuck it, we'll just do a song because we know we're gonna get paid a lot from it." There's one of those two reasons.
There was another one.
Unless they legitimately had beef and then squashed it out. I don't know.
So all of these rappers were putting out like, the rest in peace shit for X and everything, and obviously Drake and X were in, arguments. They were beefing and shit back when X got out of jail. So obviously Drake didn't say anything, but in one of the songs, he said, "R.I.P. all the dudes that," or he said, what did he say? He said something. He was like,
Remember what song it was?
he said, "Free all my dudes who got caught with it, and R.I.P. all the dudes that got caught without it."
Yeah.
I wonder if that was kind of like his subliminal way of kind of like touching on X.
I feel like that's a bit of a long shot, though.
Not really.
No, Drake's been.
I don't
like,
think so.
There's been lots where he's like super subliminal about things. But
Yeah.
then people were able to piece it together, and he never denies it or anything.
Ah.
It's quite, actually quite clear. Even the thing about with 4 p.m. in Calabasas or whatever.
Yeah.
When Joe Budden found the diss on him,
hmm
nobody ever would have figured that shit out, but he did. And
Yeah.
it was real. But I mean, it could have been. I don't talk about guns like that though, because he always does that, man.
Yeah.
He always does that. He always talks about guns like that. Like, don't say that.
Well, there was one where he said we were listening to a song.
That's something the game should have said.
What was it? It was, I think it was Nonstop, where he was talking about like, He said, "I'm a head splitter." I think that's nonstop. I was like, Drake, don't talk like you're all big and tough.
Yeah, that's what I hate. The dude got to start from Degrassi. Like, I'm pretty sure the guy's not street.
Yeah, but he's an R&B singer.
Yeah, an R&B singer. It's like what?
Well, I can't put that.
people in his camp that were
Yeah, I
killing
can't
people.
put that on R&B singers because some of them R&B singers
They're dark as
will
fuck.
scrap quicker than some of those rapping dudes.
Tory
So
Lanez. Is there
yeah,
more?
Tory
Was
Lanez.
good too. That whole rap side was good. I was thoroughly impressed.
That Happy Birthday fucking song.
the only one on the R&B, the only one on the R&B side of Drake's album that I liked was the one with
like
Ty
the
Dolla
first
Sign.
one. I like the first one. I
I
don't
did
know what
not.
it was called.
Peak.
Yeah.
I did not like that one.
Yeah.
I like the one with Ty Dolla Sign.
That Happy Birthday song was trash. What was it called? Ratchet Birthday?
Ratchet Happy Birthday.
Yeah, that sucked.
But yeah, it's called After Dark. It's with Static Major, Ty Dolla Sign. I like Ty Dolla Sign a lot. Not because he has the same name as me. But
All right, where do you place this album at?
What?
Between, Take
10?
Care, like between all of his
between-
albums. What album do you put? So we're going to go from worst to best.
All his albums?
Yeah.
Want to do all his albums that way?
Yeah.
I think his best was...
Like, you don't have to list them all. Just place your worst and
Just-
then place your best and then place that one.
Okay,
somewhere
well,
in
my
between
best for Drake was Thank Me Later.
there. Okay.
My worst from Drake?
Yeah.
You want that?
Yeah.
Oh, More Life.
Okay. More
And-
Life? Worse
yeah.
than Views?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably have to say worse than Views. Because there's a lot of reggae, a lot of UK rappers.
I feel like
that
there was a
I really
lot
like.
more stuff, though, that popped than
Like
it did
one,
from
Portland.
Views. What was that? Was that the song with Thug?
That was with Travis and Quavo.
Oh, maybe that was the one I'm thinking of.
It's like one song, dude.
Thought he did one with Thug.
He did.
What was that
I
one?
didn't like it.
I forget what that one was called.
Yeah, forget
I think that one was good. Okay, so where do you put Views?
Like,
Right after More Life?
no, Views is better than More Life.
That's what I'm saying.
Views.
Yeah, Views. You said Views
Yeah,
from the
Views is like next
second
to worst.
worst.
Second worst. Yeah, Views is second worst
Okay.
for sure. Take Care's third worst.
What?
Okay,
So
this I'm just gonna list my favorite Drake projects in order right now. Thank
Okay.
Me Later is definitely his best album to me. Scorpion is now. No, Nothing Was the Same.
Okay.
Is my second. Scorpion is now my third. So Far Gone is my fourth. And Take Care. If you're reading this, Views, More Life.
All right. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. It's been mad long since all these albums came out.
I just named them
I know, but I'm not going to be able to remember.
I just
them
heard
all.
them, but I
All right,
forget them already.
Listen. All right. So the worst one I would probably say is probably Views. Second worst I would say would be More Life. The third worst I would say would be If You're Reading This, It's Too Late. No. I take that back. I take
I
that
don't
back.
like that one at all. I thought it was.
That one had some good ones on it. Okay, maybe If You're Reading This, It's Too Late. And then I really like Take Care, so that's going to be like my favorite one. And then Nothing Was the Same. And then so I'm going to put Scorpion like in the middle. Closer to the bottom, but like, in the middle. It definitely wasn't my favorite project. I feel like Drake could have cut out the entire R&B side and it would have been an amazing album.
Well, Drake's got like two sides of fans: people that want to hear him rap and people that want to hear him sing.
I don't ever fucking want to hear Drake sing.
I'm just saying. He's got two different fan bases, really.
I fucking loved Drake
The
when he
rappers
first came
are
out.
mad because he's singing. And you get the
When Drake came out, he was on the dedications and shit. When he first signed with Wayne, the shit was fucking awesome. Hypher was awesome. There was a lot of stuff that was awesome. He did that Gonorrhea song. That verse was awesome.
Right above it.
Right
Shit's
above
nice.
it was
It's good
awesome.
with Jadakiss,
Yep.
that was good. Yeah. Overall, I give the album a 7 out of 10.
Ransom was good.
7 out of 10 for me for the Scorpion
7
album.
out of 10?
Yeah.
I would give it a fucking
It's
like.
not an MC.
I would give it
and
like
I don't
a-
trust the fact that whether or not he wrote those lyrics or not.
He definitely didn't write this. I guarantee there's 10 people, at least 10 people on that album that helped
I give
him
a
write that.
I give a 7 out of 10 for Drake. I give like a 9 out of 10 for the OVO switch up. Shout out to Party Next Door.
Yep. And what's that other dude's name?
One is
Going up on a
McConaughey.
Tuesday.
He's not on OVO.
Yeah, but he wrote for Drake.
No, yeah. Roy Woods.
But what was I gonna say? Oh, I would give it a 9 out of 10. You know what? Yeah, I would have given it a 9 out of 10.
I thought you were about to go to 10.
I would have given it a 9 out of 10 if it was just the rap side. But since he had to throw all that R&B shit on there, I'm gonna probably give it a.
I'll probably give it.
That R&B shit was awful, so I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. Like I just don't want that R&B shit there. So the rap side was awesome. I'll give that shit the rap side. I'll rate it by sides because it's a double album. So 9 out of 10 for the rap. For the R&B, that was like fucking 2 out of 10.
Yeah, there's a couple other albums that came out. Freeway's album is fucking incredible. It's got a
didn't
song in
listen to
there
that.
called "The Fucking Nation."
I did listen to
featuring
Tiana.
Jadakiss, and then Freddie Gibbs. His album was phenomenal also. So I just want to say that.
I did listen to
Yeah,
Tiana
listen to those
Taylor's.
too. Tiana Taylor's was nice.
It was alright.
It
I
was
didn't like the
nice,
last
and
song.
She sounds a lot like fucking SZA.
I didn't
when
like
she
the last song
sings.
on it.
I didn't need Kanye. verse.
WTP.
Yeah,
That one wasn't good. I
it
didn't
wasn't
think.
bad. Where would you rank good music albums that came out so far?
I would definitely put Designers at the end. I wasn't a big fan of that one. There was I think the last 3 songs on Designer's album was the only 3 that I liked off of it. I definitely would put. It's a tie between Cudi and Push's album is first. So I'm gonna go with the one that I've listened to more, and that's Push's. So Push's is first, Cudi's is second, Kanye's is third, fourth is Tiana Taylor's, fifth is Nas's, and sixth is Designers.
That's exactly how I would put mine.
Okay, cool.
Nas was everybody thought it was gonna be a classic, and it.
Nope, it sucked. I wasn't a big fan of it. It definitely has no replay value. I cannot
I think
listen
Matt's
to
getting
those
bored.
songs.
Who you like? What kind of rap? You like any rappers?
I like some rappers.
Some.
I'm
Can you
not.
name them, or do you just know?
I like NF,
He's all right.
Hobson. I like Hobson a lot.
I'm not too into him.
I like Eminem, like all the generic ones, like Eminem, Dr. Dre, like
Generic.
like
rappers.
seriously, like I'm not really huge into hip hop. Like I said before, I'm like
You don't like any like the old school?
I like old school stuff. Like
Yeah.
what do you mean by old school?
I mean like
Pre-2000s?
80s, 90s, even like early 2000s.
I like
Oh,
NWA.
cool.
Well, is that when? What's
That's
the
80s, yeah.
80s, yeah. I like NWA.
Yeah.
That was in early 90s.
No, it was like
and
80s.
Dude,
Late
NWA
80s. Their
literally.
first album came out in like 88.
dude, they
Okay,
shot.
so early 80s.
I said like 80s. It's still 80s.
Okay. And it's still early 90s.
Real life rap was born in the 80s.
yeah,
When did
because
it-
of the NWA.
It's
I
like
feel like.
88 or 89 is when not even no the first song was Easy E's.
Oh yeah.
Cruising or whatever it was.
Cruising down the street, no.
And yeah, that was before the album came
Yeah,
out,
man.
obviously.
Yeah.
So that was I don't know what year that was. I mean, it could have came out just the year before.
Nah, but like compared to you guys, like I'm nothing. Like with the rap shit, for real.
Ty's the one who put me on to rap music. That's like the only
Yeah,
reason
but now
I know so
all
much
you
I
want to
know.
fucking text me about is 6ix9ine and
It
did you
is
see Lil
not.
Sky's new
It is
song?
not. There's
And
just
then I
a
try to talk to you about like Wu-Tang. You're like, I don't
no,
really like
no,
the
no, no, no,
older
no,
ones.
no. Come on, you can't do that. I do listen to the older ones, and I do like it. It's just that's not my sound that I want to listen to, like the '80s style, like the beats.
80s Wu-Tang
those
give you
beats.
fucking
I'm
hurt.
just
hard
saying.
as fuck.
I'm just saying that those beats is not what I want to. It's not my sound.
That's
the
all
new
my sound.
the new
That's all I can
sound
listen
is
to.
my sound. I like the new beats. I like the way they sound. That '80s, '90s.
I like when they talk about nuts.
No, it has it has nothing to do with the. I just
it has
like
nothing to do
if
with
we don't
lyrics.
even
I don't
worry
need
about.
lyrics, I
No,
just want a
I'm
beat
saying
and
the
I'm
sound
right.
that I like is better. If you were to take the lyrics out of both of them, do I like the '90s sound better or the or '80s sound? And now, I like now better. I just like those beats. The sound is better. Now,
What about the lyrics?
So okay,
if you're gonna
so-
fucking take Tekashi and put him up against Wu-Tang and Nas and all them, obviously
Destroyed.
it's just obviously he's getting tossed to the side.
Well,
But there's also artists out here that put out really good music that I
what's
really
who?
like. What?
Whoa.
Are you talking about
Talking
like
like
lyricists?
Cole and Kendrick and them?
Yeah,
Like-
Wale.
Yeah, but they're like they lean towards that old style.
Not the
Yeah,
not
huh?
the sound wise.
Maybe not the beat, but the
No,
flows
yeah,
and,
and that's
the
what
lyrics.
Oh, yeah.
Did I say I didn't like the flows? No.
Pretty much.
I said I don't like the beats, the
literally
sound of the
said you
beats. I
don't
don't
like
like
any
that
sound.
sound.
The lyrics are nice, but everything else is not my sound.
Yeah.
Correct.
The
So-
flow is
The
the
beat
sound.
is not
But
my
that's
sound.
kind of contradicting because you can't take those lyrics and put it in from like modern day sound and it won't flow right. It would not sound good. I personally.
I'm pretty
think.
sure Cole's new album sounded nothing like '80s. count it up, count it up, count it up.
Oh yeah, that's
Count
different.
it.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't like
definitely
the whole
not-
album.
I liked it.
But like you say, you like the newer
I
stuff.
don't even think Forest Hills Drive sounded like that. The old
Yeah,
style.
it did. It mimicked. No, it didn't
There was a-
mimic, but it was. He.
There's reminiscence of
his
it, but
favorite
it's not,
rap. Like all.
I know.
He mirrors his favorite rappers.
Yeah, but
Pac is his
I'm
favorite
telling you, it just doesn't. It's not that keyboard. The 80s and 90s was that keyboard funky sound,
808s.
Not
and that's
really.
not. Yeah, it was.
No
wanna
way.
hear-
The
Hold on.
90s, yes, it was.
Not that like boop boop boop.
No,
like, that's, like,
no,
robot
no,
shit.
no,
No, what I'm having a hard time understanding what you're trying to say. Like sound, what? Like not the like the. You're like more thinking
That's
like,
like
the
the
hard
keyboard.
bass
No.
bumping shit.
Just this. What's that song? That is it?
That shit.
Talking about like a lot of the NWA stuff.
I don't like them that much.
Well,
I
I'm
don't
just
like
saying
them at
that's
all.
not and some of Snoop's stuff.
I don't listen to him either. I'm talking about like New York rappers like Wu Tang.
Okay, I like
Rakim.
Nas. I'm not putting them over these new rappers. I'm just saying that this is the sound that I like now.
Skew your top 10 since the old guys aren't your sound. You don't listen to them that much. So who is your legitimate top 10, Noah? Your legitimate top 10. Who you think the top 10 greatest rappers are to ever?
That doesn't eschew of who I think my
I don't
top
like
10
the
is.
old guys. I
No,
don't
no,
listen
no.
to
It's
them.
not my sound. With the beat is what I'm saying.
So if
How
they're not
many
your
times
sound,
I
you
gotta
still
say
listen
that?
to them.
Yeah, I do still listen to them.
So who's your top 10?
But it's just not my favorite sound. But
So
I'm
who's your
not
top
gonna
10?
put. I'm not gonna put them over top. They've put their place in. They've put the work in and they've set their place. And you can't. It's like saying Michael Jackson. The new people are gonna overcome. Like Justin Timberlake's better than Michael Jackson.
Hell no.
He's
Michael
not.
Jackson's the
He's
king
not.
of pop, dude.
He's not. Justin
Yeah,
Timberlake's
yeah.
good.
No, he's not.
Yes,
I don't
he
like
is.
Justin
Justin
Timberlake's-
Timberlake's
I don't like
really
Justin.
good.
It's
If
not
I
my
had-
style.
If I had to
so.
convert like all genres into one and pick my top 5, Justin Timberlake's like my number 2 because he's like artistic. But
He is
who's your
very
top 10? Who's your top 10
It's really
rappers,
hard
Noah?
for me to do my top 10.
How's it hard?
Just because music changes so much.
That's true. That's true.
So if I pick it now, it's gonna probably change in like a month or
But
two.
there's always one artist that you always find yourself going back to. Like you're like, yo, I really need to listen to this shit.
Yeah,
Like for
bunch
me,
of them.
it's a day to remember. Like 100%. Like if I'm having a bad day and I just like
He
literally-
likes the metal stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
so.
it's pop punk stuff. But like I'm saying, like if I'm having a bad day, I can't find anything to listen to. There's always that one artist. I'm like, hey, I listen to this shit just on shuffle, and I'll find something I like. So there's always an artist you go back.
It's hard for you to put me on the spot like this, so I can come back to this like maybe next episode and have it written down because we were in the car and we were talking about this, and it took me and you literally like 10 minutes just to get our.
For me, it was just jumping around like trying to pick out who.
Yeah, there's
'Cause I
so
had
many
100
people. Yeah,
Could you
there's so
do
many people.
Top 3, maybe.
It's so hard because there's so many people that are just close to each other and how good they are.
Let me put it this way. Like I said about Day to Remember, what's an artist you always find yourself coming back to, listening to, when you just can't find anything else to really satisfy what you want to listen to? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're sitting in the car, you're looking through your music, like, I can't find anything I fucking want to listen to, but put this person on shovel and I'll find something I
Lil
like.
Skies.
There's a lot of people. It changes.
Lil Skies.
Like when I was young, I really fucked with like Lil Wayne, Mac Miller, Eminem.
Well,
And now I listen to like the newer people, but I still find myself going through phases where I go back to all the
Yeah,
shit that
that's what
I
I'm
listen
saying,
to. So
yeah.
I can put anybody on.
theirs
But-
is a lot better than what it is now.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
what I'm
but-
trying to say. Like, someone you
I can't
always
listen to. I
come
can't listen
back
to a lot of the new stuff. Like I can listen to like a Sky song and say, "Oh yeah, it sounds nice," but I'm not gonna listen to it more than once. Not often.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm trying to say. Like,
I listen
an
to 2
artist-
songs when like to, or like okay, it's like talking about somebody not like to like.
And it's
Uzi.
hard now. It's hard now because artists put out great songs, but they don't put out great albums.
That
It's
is
hard
true.
to.
That's
pe-
true.
It's a streaming push. It's put out as much as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Young Thug, I love Young Thug. He has put out great songs, but he's put out so many throwaway songs on these albums that I can't say, oh, that album was a fucking 9 out of 10. That album was an 8 out of 10 because
I mean, like
80% of the songs,
out of every
80% of the songs on those albums fucking blew. They were definitely mixtape songs that he should have just thrown away, and he's just throwing it in to get his streaming numbers up.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, like a lot of bands I listen to, they come out with albums like they try to keep it, every couple years. Like A Day to Remember just dropped an album like last year or 2 years ago, Bad Vibrations, and it wasn't my favorite album at all. Like I really liked their Homesick album, and they came out with like What Separates Me From You after that, and then it was Common Courtesy, and I feel like you push the album so much that your sound starts to change because you don't know what to do, you know? Like, you're pushing just so fast, you're like, shit, I gotta, like, hurry up and come up with this. Or, like, Blink-182.
It was like demand.
Huh?
Just get the people
Yeah,
like screaming like, "Give
like,
me music, or we're gonna stop
Blink-182
listening
just
to you."
got
period.
rid of, like, well, Tom DeLonge left the band Blink-182, and then they just started touring and created an album with Matt Skiba, and I don't like it because Tom isn't in it, and it's like they're going back to, like, old Blink-182, but Matt Skiba was singing Tom DeLonge stuff, and I'm sorry, I know you guys don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
I mean, I pay attention.
But it's like, but it's just like, I feel like artists change too much, but that's good because it gets newer fans. But then like their older stuff gets forgotten in the older fan base.
I'll tell you what, my favorite time period in hip hop music is, early 2000s. That's my favorite time.
I don't know. I can't really pinpoint. I mean,
Well, you just kind of said you really like the 80s and 90s shit.
Yeah.
mainly '90s Wu-Tang and
Early
King.
2000s was my favorite.
Oh,
Whether
oh,
it be
early 2000s,
R&B
early
or
2000s was like LL Cool J and all those people who
whether it be R&B or rap, like
R. Kelly,
when's the last time
LL Cool
Neo
J.
put something out?
put an album out like a month ago.
Okay, well I didn't hear it. Well, he's not relevant anymore to. He's not in the mainstream light. Like I mean, he's big. He's so big, so he's got that following. But you don't. The people who are looking for him are looking for him, and the people who are not don't see him.
Well, it's like a lot
Chris
of these.
Brown's early 2000s.
Huh?
Chris Brown's early 2000s.
And Chris Brown's still relevant now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. But I mean, a lot of older rappers are moving on to like bigger things.
Chris
I don't
Brown
know,
is
all
also
these older
working with
rappers are
younger
still
people.
putting out albums.
Chris Brown's
I mean,
also working with
Prince
younger
all of
people.
them.
But a lot of them are doing more like business stuff too.
Some
you
of
know?
them. Well, the only ones they're doing now are Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, and Diddy. Like
Yo,
three
like,
of them.
but like real talk, that's like all I know. That's like all I know.
So there's something. All right. So I was on Instagram, and I know this is kind of what pisses me off about the younger generation.
We're
Of
the younger generation.
yeah, I know.
Our generation.
Our generation kind of really pisses me off. Well, I saw on Instagram Lil Pump, and he's really pissing me off because all I ever see him doing is buying chains.
I would buy it and I would never fucking wear it, dude. It's like getting like a super expensive pair of shoes.
Like,
buy it and
I literally
like
just
fucking
saw
wear
him
it.
buy a $300,000 chain,
Well-
but the motherfucker just bought a fucking $300,000 watch like 2 weeks ago.
Well,
You
yeah,
signed
but
an $8 million deal, not an $800 million deal.
Yeah, I mean, he bought a house too. It was like half, 4.5
That's
million.
half of his fucking money.
Yeah, but he's got to be generating money from somewhere else because I don't think he'd dump half his money into a fucking house if he didn't have something else.
Gotta pay like property tax and shit.
Yeah, I feel
it's
like
not
he-
a one-time investment in a
Yeah,
house,
I feel like
you
he
know.
wouldn't hurry, just buy that house.
Well,
and then
obviously
not-
he's doing
nothing else
shows,
coming
but
in. Yeah.
that's a lot of money to be blowing when
Shows
you're
are selling
definitely
out.
not going to
He's
be
probably got the most
relevant.
sold out shows there are.
Well, it's like 6ix9ine. He's spending mad
6ix9ine,
money on
him and
those
6ix9ine.
chains and shit.
And
Like
Drake.
I think 6ix9ine will be relevant longer than Lil Pump will be,
I don't know. I kind of
unless
put them in
6ix9ine
the
gets
same-
shot.
I saw a whole bunch of other like interviews and stuff where they talked about that, and they're actually pretty confident that Lil Pump's going to go way further than 6ix9ine. I feel like both of them are going to be gone in the next couple of years.
Oh, most definitely. But
Because
I
they're
say-
asking people about Lil Pump and 6ix9ine, and they're like all like the freshman cover, and nobody knew who any of them were except for Lil Pump. Nobody knew anybody, and then they were bringing up, well, let's talk about 6ix9ine and Lil Pump. And they're like, well, the only one I've heard of is Lil Pump.
Well, 6ix9ine's also in like the media.
the only
market.
people that talk about 6ix9ine are 16-year-old fucking white kids and.
Well,
Noah.
no, but like
Noah.
no, but
Hey,
what I'm-
listen to that Ty song. It's got just like it's totally different. It's
Okay,
really
well,
good.
hold on.
I
No.
listen to it. It's like sounds like his album, and still sounds like shit.
Well, there was a lot of shit that went through with Trippie Redd and all that stuff, and Trippie was like, and I know this isn't. It's good though; it keeps your relevance, but I know it's not as important. But in the music wise, but Trippie Redd was like, "Oh, bro, I got more followers than you." Tekashi is getting way more known than he was. Trippie Redd had. He was like, oh, I got 4 million views or million followers, and you only have fucking 2. Well, since then, Trippie is still, I think, at 4, and Tekashi is now at like 7 or 8 million, and he's going up.
It was old.
7 and 8 million followers is a lot of followers.
Tekashi owes his start to Trippie and
Lil Wayne
Adam
only has
22.
3 million.
but with Tekashi, do you think
He
his
owes his success to Adam 22
no?
and
But
Trippie
but
Redd.
do you think the reason why he's blown up so much is about all this shit going on about him in the
When
media?
6ix9ine was coming out, nobody wanted to do music with him.
No,
No,
but
nobody wanted
in
to
the
watch him.
media
And
with-
Trippie's like, fine, I'll take you on tour.
X
with
was
me.
managed by Adam 22 in the beginning.
I'm not talking about that.
Well, you're saying that he owes a lot of his success to Adam 22.
And
because he
Tekashi
worked
does.
with him.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
So X-
No, Adam 22 didn't work with him. Adam 22, nobody would give Tekashi an interview.
Yes.
And Adam 22 was like, fuck it, fine, bring him. He went to meet somebody else. He didn't even know that Tekashi was going to be there. And he's like, fuck it, fine, it's fine, we'll do this.
No, but
And nobody else would give Tekashi an interview. Nobody else wanted to do songs with him or listen to his shit. And then Trippy's like, I'll take you on tour. Took him on tour, did songs with him, let him perform and shit, and then that's how Tekashi started fucking blowing up.
No, but do you think like his modern day publicity, like right now, like last month, is because of this like allegations
get shot.
No, but the allegations that came out against him, with sleeping with that minor. Do you think
There's
that's
more than one?
Yeah,
he was
but
accused of molesting multiple.
I know, but do you
boys.
think that's why he's blowing up so much in the media because of those accusations coming
There's
out
a lot of
against him?
accusations, and there's a lot of stuff that you can say, and just
comes Noah
because
in
somebody,
Tekashi's defense.
no, just because, all right, well, you got to defend.
pull
Well,
Tekashi's
then you
dick
got
out so
to, then
my
you
mouth
got
so I
to,
can
then you,
defend him.
then you got to start talking about Fabulous. What about Fabulous? He was accused
I'm
of.
not saying Tekashi did it. I'm just saying,
Okay,
like Michael.
well,
Nobody
I'm
knows
just
that Michael
saying.
Jackson did it.
What I'm
When it
trying
comes
to
kids,
say-
and you're around all those kids, and then all those kids start coming forward saying that you fucking touched them. Michael
That's
Jackson's
bad.
great, but he's
What
Michael
kids
Jackson
came forward on Tekashi?
There's a couple.
No, but what I was trying to say is
And
not
there's that
like
whole fucking video.
Famous or not famous?
No, not famous.
Okay.
Yeah.
no, but I was trying to say is like, is this shit
see that.
the
Famous.
the accusations coming out Tekashi?
There's a whole court date for it.
What with Tekashi?
Yeah,
Like him going to
It
court?
was early. It was like early.
Yeah, I know,
early.
I
but is
remember
that
there was
fame?
a court date
was
for
pre-fame.
the thing about the kid, the girl that said she was 17 was actually 14 and
was-
she was naked. I remember that one.
It was pre-fame, and it was about
Yeah.
a little boy.
Yeah.
Oh, the one that was pre-fame that
Oh.
I know of was about the girl.
It was a little boy. And Trippie Redd posted all the court shit up to
What?
fucking slander.
But
yeah.
is that why Tekashi blew up? You think?
I remember
No.
Trippy posting all the court
No.
stuff about the
No.
girl.
No, it was. I don't think that's why he blew up. But
or at least
Was it
some of his
Peter
publicity
Rosenberg said that's why
from
X
that.
blew up was from his fucking charge.
I can tell you right now, the only thing that's going to stop Tekashi is a bullet.
Oh, for
No,
real?
he's
Oh,
gonna
for
die
real.
out.
You
There have been
think?
bigger, yeah.
In the past couple,
Well,
in
in
the
a
next,
couple
I don't
years,
think
I'd
in a
say.
couple months Tekashi's going anywhere.
no,
no,
no.
not
I'd
that.
I give him another year. I give all of them another year. I give Pump a
I
year
give
and a half.
Tekashi more than Pump.
I don't. I don't think Tekashi's got a whole lot more music to put out.
I think Tekashi, business wise, okay. It's very dumb and dangerous what
Making
he's
viral videos
very dumb
is not
and
like-
dangerous in what he's doing, but Tekashi knows what he's doing and he knows how to get a video to pop and he knows how to get himself out there, and that's why he is as successful as he is. And I
Yeah,
think
you just look like a. You just make the world think that you're a dumbass and you're gonna get yourself killed. So everybody's like, I want to watch this kid die. That's pretty much what it is, and that's what he's banking off
he's
of.
banking off of it. He's
Yeah, I'm
banking
just
off
saying,
of
it's
it.
not- it's not
And
like
I don't
you-
put Tekashi's
Things like
music
that don't
that bad.
fucking last, dude. When do things like that last?
I can't tell you the last time I saw like someone that's heavily affiliated with all that gang and shit.
Not even just that. Just like the fact that it's like
It's not.
all
it
it
won't
is dumb
last.
shit. It's
yeah,
not like serious like fun.
it's a
shit.
phase.
It is. It's a fad right now.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm surprised nobody has shot him.
I know. Well, you know why? Because they released that video
Of him on O Block, and he was,
was
there
like
like
3
4 in the morning
yeah.
for anybody. Everybody was asleep.
It was old. It was
Yo,
old
it's
ass
crazy
video.
how like crazy fucking like people on the internet are fucking people on the internet solve cases faster than the actual detectives do.
Well, I mean, but you got to have actual evidence being a detective. All this shit does he say, she
There's
say.
been cases
Pretty
on the
much.
internet where there's been actual like murders or missing people, and people on Reddit have solved the cases for the
Well,
detectives.
look at Bobby Shmurda. He literally fucking confessed in one of his songs, and that's what put him away.
Yeah, he's getting
Our
out there.
generation's pretty fucking stupid.
Yeah, like who's gonna rap about a murder and be like, "Yo, I'm gang as fuck"? It's like, okay, but you're going to jail, dumbass.
Well, I think it was
Isn't
the way
he
he
supposed to be
worded it,
getting out
because you could,
2020?
I could go on a song and say I killed somebody.
You know,
That's
did you ever
bad.
see that Key and Peele thing where he's like, I shot him, I killed Darnell, and I shot him 9 times.
Yeah.
I shot him 9 times with my Glock 45. Or something like that. It's funny. He's like, that was a metaphor. Like, you ain't got no proof.
He's like,
He's
oh
like-
yeah. And then
It's like, what about this picture of you next to Darnell's lifeless body? You can't prove that was me. It's like,
I don't know. I feel like in the rap game nowadays, a lot of people are banking off violence and being like super gang and like, but long term wise, like if you want to be,
You want to know? You don't know where it's coming from. Listen to 1985 by J. Cole, because he completely fucking explains why these young rappers like 6ix9ine and Pump are getting famous.
Yeah, that's true. I
This-
listened to that song. Yeah,
It's-
Yeah, that's
all
definitely
it
true.
is. I've never heard somebody fucking explain it.
the
That fucking well.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
insane.
And like you're listening to it, like, damn, this dude's right. Like, what
It
the
is,
fuck?
it is. It's
It
hard
almost
to-
makes you want to give up and just like start doing it yourself, and hopefully you'll get like mad money.
Okay, so who do you give longer, Skies or Lil Xan?
Oh my
Skies.
god,
Lil Xan's already
Skies.
done.
I was gonna say Lil Xan's already. If you were gonna say Lil Xan,
Skies is like he's good.
I don't
Lil
even
Xan
like-
literally raps about drugs.
There's
I don't
That's
think Lil
all he
Skies
There's
is
raps.
literally
good. I just
one
think he's
song.
better than Xan.
yeah, there's literally ones. I think Lil Skies is good. I think that
He's got 3
He's
songs
way
I
better
like.
than
They're
Xan.
just like
I like that
Young
whole
Thug.
album.
I did not.
I liked it.
I think he's like Thug, like you said. I think it was like 10% good and 90% just throw out the window.
I don't know if I give it that bad.
I'm not into the whole like
No, I know what you're not
fucking
into and everything,
like where
but
he's just like fucking
I don't know. I mean, I'm
got a
like
hottie body, put that on my mommy. I'm not. It's not my fucking thing, man.
I don't know, man.
It's not my thing.
It was though.
Not really.
Your style has changed. It has changed over the
When,
years.
when was it my thing?
There's a lot of stuff that's changed over the years.
When was it my thing?
I remember one time me and you got in an argument. You're the one who got me into rap.
Skies and
No. I'm not. I'm talking about way back. There was a time you're the one who got me into rap, and then there was one time we got in an argument because I was trying to play rap music. And you're like, nah, I don't listen to that anymore. I only listen to like this rock stuff and this country. It was one time.
Rock
it
and
was
country?
It was one time. But then there's stuff that's changed. Like you did like that stuff. There was a time that you really fucked.
I like that stuff in high school because we drank beer and got wasted.
You
to
showed
it.
me
we didn't
Hobson.
listen to it.
You showed me Hobson. Now you don't like Hobson.
You know why? Because he started putting out more tracks, and I was like, okay.
So things change.
I listened to the album one time, and I say it's good, and then I listen to it again. I'm like,
What was out before has
never
been your-
mind.
has
Just
been
like
your
Drake's
stuff
album, I
previous.
listened to it one time, that was bad.
Yes.
Listened to it again.
Okay, I did that
That
too.
was good. That's what I did to everybody.
But you liked Uzi when he came out. You liked Nicki when
one
she came
mixtape.
out.
Nicki, I didn't really listen to her.
You-
I liked
you
Young
sh-
Money when she was on it. That's
Yeah.
about it. This album, and that album's still good.
And at one point you liked M, and before
yeah,
before Revival came out, then you stopped kind of fucking with him. And then it was
I
like,
don't
oh,
like
I don't listen to
Revival.
him. Neither did I. That's why I said before Revival. There was time.
Yeah,
like,
Recovery.
I liked Recovery a lot.
That was like half. It was like 50 on that. Everything before that, it's just like he's just saying the same shit that the newer people are. He just said it in like harder way. All he was talking about was fucking murdering his baby
I feel like
moms and
after we
taking
get
pills.
after we get past these people that are out right now, if we can ever fucking get past it, it seems like they just keep getting worse and worse year after year.
And there's always going to be
the
new
XXL
ones.
freshman cover was fucking ridiculous.
Actually,
It was
they might as well just throw their whole fucking magazine away because because literally the past 4 years that magazine's been trash.
longer than that. I think like 2012 was the last good one.
I'll give it 4 years. I don't know. I can't remember.
It was 6. It was 6 years ago. It was good, and then after that, it was trash.
Who was your favorite? Who was your favorite XXL?
I think it was 2012. It was Schoolboy, Action Bronson, Absol, Logic, Dizzy Wright. Oh, SZA maybe.
Yeah,
Pretty much like all of TDE's fucking crew was on that one.
I think like
Joey Badass was on it. Travis Scott was on it.
Max and MGK's was pretty dope.
I didn't like MGK's. I like Max. I don't like MGK.
I'm pretty sure Mac Miller has a new album coming real soon.
I would assume.
What the hell happened to Mac Miller? He like
A lot of
fell
drugs.
off.
He was like
hardcore
yeah.
pillhead.
Is he still dating Ariana Grande?
No, she's engaged to
What
Pete
happened to
Davidson.
that? What the fuck? They were just together
Yeah,
like
right?
5 months ago, and
Oh, you
now
didn't
she's
know that?
engaged already
What
to
the
another dude.
fuck?
No, I didn't know that.
Pete Davidson. They broke up they broke up her and Mac broke up a while ago.
Was
It had to have
because
been
of the
5
Been
months
drugs?
ago.
engaged for 2.
Was it
They were
because of the
together for a month
drugs?
before that.
Because of Mac?
Okay, well I know it's been like 5. It hasn't been over a year that Mac and Ariana
No,
have been.
no.
That's crazy.
He's a pillhead, and she was like trying to like hang in with it. And
Yo,
he
if I
couldn't
could
get off
bag
or
a
something
chick
like
like Ariana Grande, I would not. I'd make sure I wouldn't do anything to fuck that up. Like for real, like shit.
Well, Mac Miller, see some of these people who get their fame super early, it just really fucks them
It
up.
destroys them.
Mac wasn't even graduated when
Yeah.
he got
Yeah,
famous.
Yeah.
So
He was. I saw him when his first year before he even got like
Well-
made it real big.
Well, that's
All he had
true.
was the kids mixtape.
Because I watched.
yeah,
I
that was a
watched.
good mixtape.
I watched an interview with I think Waka Flocka. No, I don't know if it's right, but I watched an interview. I watched an interview with a rapper, and he said he literally no, but he said he literally blew up overnight, and he went from like one day only having like $1 in pocket, coming home a week later with like over 60,000 in his pocket, and he just like did mad drugs, mad liquor, and then he got shot, and he was like, holy shit. I need to figure this
I
out
don't know
before
if
I
you're talking
die.
about the right person.
I don't think I am, dude. Guys, I'm telling you, I don't know shit about rap, but I'm just
Waka Flocka
telling
and Juicy
you.
were like, they took a long time for them.
He
to
has
get
like
up.
dreadlocks and a lot of tattoos.
Yeah, they
like-
like a lot of them.
of them.
God damn it!
Yeah,
I don't know
he's
how to explain them.
I mean,
But I'm just saying, like he hit the harsh reality of blowing up too fast hit him when he almost died.
Well,
That's
I mean,
what
look
was
at
trying
Chief
to say.
Keef. He had like a hot ass fucking song, and they wanted to, it was like a $500,000 video shoot. He did a song with Wiz Khalifa and 50 Cent, and is I Hate Being Sober. And he was like doing all this dumb shit. He was getting in trouble. He was going to jail, and the motherfucker didn't even show up to the music video. You know how much money? He literally just had to show up to the music video, and he would have made like a shit ton of money.
Like what?
So,
like a minuscule amount of time, right? And he
just to
would've
shoot a
made, like-
music video,
Yeah.
however long it takes to shoot a music video. Also, it would have been done in a day.
Oh, yeah,
and
he
he would have made like over $100,000.
He would have made more than I make in like 5 years of my life.
Yes, yes, and he didn't do it. And Chief Keef was one of the first people to be offered a deal to come over to Apple Music,
Exclusive. Yeah. He was
Exclusive.
the very first artist to get
and
an
he turned that
exclusive
down.
deal.
And I guarantee you, he's regretting that shit now
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
because Chief Keef's not even relevant. Apparently, he's put out like 3 mixtapes,
I don't know. I heard a lot
and
of
I haven't
people
heard it.
No, not mixtapes. He's been putting out a bunch of albums. A lot of
That's
people-
that's worse.
A lot of people were talking about his latest one though.
What's
A lot of people.
going on with Kevin Gates?
He's
Is he
in jail?
out?
No,
I
he
thought
was in jail,
just
but he got out, and he's on probation, and he has to stay in.
Did he go to jail
Just
because he
like
kicked
Chicago.
that fan in the face?
No, it was that, and there was some other shit added to it.
I thought so.
Oh no! So what
he
it
was in
was,
jail for a
what it
long
was,
time for
was he
kicking
kicked?
somebody?
He kicked.
Yeah.
Well, he kicked a woman in the face
At a
No, it was in the
concert.
at
chest.
was it in the chest?
the chest.
Kicked the woman in the well, she was grabbing all on his dick. So, and he told her to stop. You can't just because they're famous and you're a woman
They're
doesn't
still a
mean
person.
you're still sexually assaulting somebody.
Yeah.
But so I mean, he told her to get off and everything. I mean, I don't condone hitting a woman, but
I
the
would've
fan
kicked that bitch
the
in the
fan has to take responsibility for what she was doing. And I know if it was the other way around and that girl was up on stage singing and Kevin Gates was down in the crowd trying to grab at her vagina and shit, she would have kicked him right in the face. I
hell
guarantee
yeah.
you. And I guarantee you 10 guys would have jumped off the stage and beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, right.
And nothing probably would have happened to that girl. But anyways, he kicked that girl in the chest and he went to, it was in Florida, I think, and he went to court for it. And they said, all right, we're giving you like 8 months for it because they weren't playing. And then he went to his probation hearing or whatever to get out. And they said, well, we were going to let you out, but come to find out, you have warrants for
a
gun
weapons,
charge
yeah.
up in Chicago. And we're going to extradite you up there. So they sent him up there, and everybody's like, oh, it's fucking Chicago. Everybody in Chicago has a gun. They've let people go for shit like this before. He'll probably go in there, and they'll put him on probation, or he'll do like a month, and he'll be out. No, they sent him up there. He did like another fucking year.
Yeah, it sucked.
Yeah, because
And he got out, and now he has to stay up there. He can't leave.
He was real popular before he went to jail.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Murder
he
for Hire
exploded.
2 was really good.
I didn't like him, but a lot of people did. So he came out, and I liked one. I can't remember what it was called. Something. It was like a second in the series.
Murder for Hire 2?
No.
Off that album? It was like Panoramic Roof.
No. I'm talking about the mixtape name. There's a whole series
Oh.
of mixtapes. There's the second one, something 2. I don't remember.
I don't know.
That was the only thing I liked by him. A lot of people liked him, and then now he's out. Nobody fucking gives.
I just listened to Murder for Hire 2, and By Any Means. Was it By Any Means? Because By Any
Nope.
Means 2 just came out.
Nope.
By Any Means 2
Something
wasn't
else.
really good. There was one good song of
What
it.
was his daughter's name?
God, I have no idea.
The
I didn't
title
pay
of the
attention to
album.
that. I don't know.
Isaiah or something.
Oh, yeah, Isaiah.
His daughter's name?
I don't-
Isaiah.
I know it was something Isaiah. I don't think that's his daughter's name, but I know he had
named
something.
his album after his daughter.
Well, there was something Isaiah.
I don't know.
But, so,
Fuck, there's something I want to bring up. Oh, I was talking to fuck. What were we doing? I think it was at night. It was Saturday night when I was texting you,
mhm.
and Sean was talking about something. We were all drinking, so we were tipsy. So dumb shit comes up.
Yeah.
They're talking about smoking cigarettes, and everybody else was like, "Yeah, I believe like if you quit now, it might save your life." But I mean, if, like the day I was gonna get lung cancer, even if I quit smoking that day, I could get hit by a truck. He says, "Fate. That was my day. That was my day."
Oh yeah, you can't avoid
And they were talking about
your
that.
time to go.
And I just had to call complete fucking bullshit on that.
Well, if you stop cigarettes, like it could save your. I mean, it could save long-term effects because as soon as you stop smoking, your lungs immediately start repairing themselves.
I am a firm unbeliever that you have a set day or set actions or anything like that.
You have like a set destiny of when you're gonna die.
Anything like that. Anything fate related. What do
Yeah.
you think?
So you don't think it's? I think
No.
I think we have a fate, but I think as people we have the will to change it. You know, it's kind of like Sharia law, where not born into a class where we have to stay in that class.
Nope, I don't think that there is a fate on anything. I think that there's multiple shit that you can do, and there's options.
The butterfly effect.
And
Literally.
you could have
That
not.
butterfly effect is like time.
One thing
You go back
ch-
in the past.
No, but if you it's like
No, the butterfly
present
effect is
day-
one thing. One thing you do affects everything else
it's
that
like
you
a
do
ripple
in
effect.
little ways.
Like if
Yes.
you make a decision and do this, it's gonna do this
Well,
later
actually,
on
when
down
the
road.
butterfly effect was called the butterfly effect, it was like if you go back in the
Effect.
past.
You're saying a flex.
I said effect.
You said a flex.
I did not say effect. I'm pretty sure I don't know if I said effect.
We'll hear it back when I play it back and edit
Let's go.
it.
Let's go.
But butterfly effect
He's about to do it again.
was if you go back in time, kill a butterfly in the past, it'll drastically change the future. That was the butterfly effect.
No, straight up, I learned
Okay.
about the butterfly effect from this game that I played.
That was like a warning, like don't go back in time and
no,
try to change the past.
but
That was
the,
what it was.
The way I was taught it is that like your everyday like trials and whatever decision you make will, determine what happens for you in the future. Because you got to think about it, like every day we're kind of living in the past. Like every second becomes the past. So it's like if you do something in your modern day life, it's definitely gonna cause some changes for your future. Like if you decide to go to college or not, or do this or do that, get married at a young age, have a kid at a young age, that's going to cause pretty detrimental effects for your future.
So you believe in the fate? You believe that?
I don't believe in
Do you think there's a set date for you to die?
predetermined fate. No. I just believe that your choices on this earth are going to determine.
Yeah,
you
he
know-
was saying
Okay,
that.
well, that's
He was-
not fate.
What
Yeah,
they were
that's not
saying,
fate.
yeah, what they were saying was it doesn't matter what you do. That day is set.
This
and
isn't fucking
nothing you
Final
do is
Destination.
going to
Yeah.
change that.
No, I don't believe that. I believe you have the power in your life to determine your fate, like successfully wise, and like even your, when it's your time to go. Like if you're like a habitual smoker and you smoke every single fucking day of your life, and I know people that do that, and none of them get lung cancer, and they live to be like 100. You know what I'm saying? I don't think shit like that can cause it.
Yeah, there's a person that was telling me like you can, like it's like I'm not gonna identify this person in any kind of way, but they're like, I don't want to quit smoking. I mean, there's people that get lung cancer. It's like there's always something that can hurt you or kill you. Like, yeah, but like the 10% of people that get lung cancer just get it. The other
And they're
90
not
get it
even
from smoking.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
The
like
90% of lung cancer comes from cigarettes.
Exactly.
90% kills half a million people a year.
Exactly.
You thinking that everything's gonna kill you? Like, no, bitch. Like, you quit smoking, you're gonna help yourself out a lot.
yeah, it's
Like,
like
you're just stupid.
it's
Like,
like what
God die
we're-
somehow. Like, yeah, but don't do it to your fucking
it's
self.
like what we were just talking about with Kevin Smith.
We know this is gonna
you
kill
know?
me, so I'm gonna fucking do it.
Yeah, like eating unhealthy food that'll hurt you because it clogs your arteries. You could have a heart attack like Kevin Smith. It's just everyday decisions. Like if you want to eat a burger or something fucking healthy, like
Yeah.
that stuff will.
What did John
help.
Capruzzo says?
Okay.
If I pull into a McDonald's, I'm pretty much saying fuck my 70s.
So I
Exactly.
think that fate lies in with religion. So like
I don't believe that.
God has a plan for
Are
me.
you talking about like
There's-
your?
I don't think
God
so
has
either.
a plan for me, so that's like, oh, that's your fate.
No, I don't think fate ties
It's like
into
the same
religion.
thing.
I don't think
No,
so.
listen,
Because there's
fate-
a lot of
fate-
unreligious people, like
because
atheists,
I'm a
believe in
Christian,
fate.
I'm a Christian, and I don't believe.
Well, I feel
my
like that's
fate
where
is Are you talking about like
it
our
stems
spiritual
from.
fate? Like if
Religious
we're going
people
to
shouldn't
heaven
even,
or
because
hell?
in the Bible, God says that your choice, your life is
Okay,
determined
well,
by
either
the
way,
choices you
let me
make.
finish
gave
what I was
us
trying to say.
free will. Well, I'm a Christian. I know you two aren't, but I know God gave us free will to do what we want and make our choices to determine where we go after this.
I don't
Not-
think
not
there's.
only
I
that,
don't
just
think
how
there's a
you-
fate. I think that
Like-
whatever you do is your fault, and you made those decisions. And there's multiple other things that you could have done that would have changed that shit, but you
Yeah.
didn't make that choice. The choice
Yeah.
that you made is how you affected
And
yourself.
that affects your fate.
And people believe no, it's not a fate. It's not fate.
Are you talking about like death, right? Or
talking about,
That's
like,
what I
death.
was talking about. I was talking about like death.
I
Everybody.
was talking about like success.
I was talking about fate. Like, okay, the day you're gonna die is a week from now. There's
No.
nothing you can do to change
No,
that.
that's not true. I don't
Yeah.
think that that's true. That's what I was getting at. There's nothing that
okay.
your decisions that you make can change when your day is. There's not a
it's
set
the
date
people that
that
were
you're
disagreeing
going
with
to
me
go.
were saying-
And I think that we get that from us being humans. And this is where I was talking with Matt about the religion thing and about like our humans' theory on God and everything. I think that we get that from being such a little piece of dust in this entire
Literally,
universe
literally.
that our minds, since we can't, our minds are built to the point where we can't, if we can't comprehend something, instead of just just saying, fuck it, I don't understand it, we have to come up with some way to keep ourselves from freaking out. If we don't know it, can't see it, can't touch it, can't feel it.
Disagree with it.
So I feel like the religion, reason we make up
'Cause there's
religion
plenty of
is
people
because
who-
we don't know where we came from.
There's plenty of people that don't know where we came from who don't freak out and don't make that shit up.
Yeah, exactly. Like
But
people
Yeah.
you can't.
fear,
Yes.
But you're saying that's where
like
Yes.
religion
people
stemmed
fear,
from.
fear
I don't
Yes,
think
I
people
feel
who
like-
invented Christianity weren't thinking that. That's people today. Christianity wasn't invented based off of that. I guarantee you.
No. So you're saying religion is based on the premise of people
I
fearing
feel like
death.
a lot of the people who believe in religion
Today, but that's not what stemmed. That's not
Okay,
what
well,
created religion.
Okay, well, the people who believe in religion today
Okay, that's
don't
better.
understand them, don't understand how they are here, don't understand the world, don't understand the universe. I can't fucking comprehend or even get a grasp on what the fuck space is, how that shit works, where the fuck we came from. And I think that the people who believe in religion are too scared, and it's just something to keep their mind at ease, so they feel like there's something else out there for them after death.
I can tell you this: I'm a avid believer in Jesus, and I'm a Christian, and I don't fear any of that.
And yeah, my thing is what I think it is.
I don't fear any of that.
I think it might be a portion of that because I really truly think that most people just don't give a fuck about knowing these answers. Not that they're
well,
scared.
that's true. Yeah,
Like, not
nobody.
knowing. I think they're just like, well, how the moon form? Somebody's like, I don't fucking care.
I want to know.
Yeah, you do, but most of these people don't. So I don't think that's. If I had to guess, I would think it was just like awesome stories. I mean, fucking
that got like maybe like the rumor, like a rumor gets
cool,
spread over
good
time.
stories that were fucking written, and fucking church profit off of it.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
they-
well back then during the Crusades, the Catholic Church was like hella involved in like making people sheep. Like the Catholic Church at some point didn't allow people to read the Bible.
before it was not just the Crusades.
Yeah, it was a
like-
very long time period to say
it
the
was-
least.
Even today.
Yeah,
Even
oh yeah.
today.
Well, there's big churches out
You
there
all
that
the people that go to the Vatican just sit there and fucking like wait to see the Pope and kiss his fucking like
yeah,
hand
and there's like
shit.
super churches that make hella money. Like I went to one when I was a kid.
I think the biggest one is people are just scared of death, so they need to know
I'm
that
not
there's something
scared of
after.
death.
That's basically what I was saying.
Yeah,
people
that was
can't
basically
comprehend.
what Noah
People
was
can't
saying.
comprehend.
People can't comprehend like space and shit. You said he was talking about the universe, Noah.
Yeah, and death.
yeah,
Death is the
can't.
big one. I don't think
Heaven-
people,
heaven-
people don't give a
heaven
shit
is what
about the
we're
universe
going
except
to.
for a specific group. Right?
Heaven is what we're going to, what the Bible says, and that's the people.
No, paradise on earth. There's no hell. Heaven is only for 144,000 people. Everybody else that is chosen.
Wait,
is,
say that again?
Yeah, what are you talking about? I've never heard
Can you
of
say
this.
that
Yeah,
one more time?
Yeah, just
'Cause
repeat
I feel like I
yourself.
just heard something I didn't.
In the Bible,
Okay.
everybody thinks that there's a hell.
Yes.
The Bible never mentions that there's a hell ever, not once.
Yeah.
And the only thing we know of is that the Bible tells you everything
have
you need to
read
know.
Revelations?
Yeah, they talk about the fiery, but that was only
Yeah.
for the people that were tossed out with Lucifer. It was not for the people that
I
sinned on
thought
earth.
he put a number out there.
Yeah, you said like 144,000.
In the
I was
Bible,
like, what?
the only
Yeah.
people allowed into heaven in the history of the earth are 144,000 people. Those were God's chosen people to serve in His personal army.
Where are you getting the
Yeah, where are you
144,000?
getting
It says in the Bible.
It says
No way.
144,000.
I swear on my
No
life.
way.
I swear on my life.
No way,
I swear on
dude.
my life.
What book?
Can you look that up?
Yeah,
I
for
think it
real.
might be less than 144,000.
No, because like I'm a avid believer,
Dude,
and
I'm
like
telling you, I'm
Dorm.
well educated on this shit. I'm not just gonna
Yeah,
spew you ignorance.
yeah, but like Dorm
I don't know, so that's why I
yeah,
wanna know.
But like Dorm
That number threw me
Revelations,
off.
what I've always learned is like Dorm
Do you have a Bible?
Revelation. I have a Bible.
Do I have
I'd
a
rather you
Bible?
pull up so I can show you an actual Bible.
Yeah, yeah.
Before people start questioning it online.
Yeah,
and shit
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
No, but like
it's in there.
I'm an avid
I think
Christian,
it's
and
144,000,
like Revelations,
something like
they talk about like a rapture period and the tribulation, and it's like all firm believers in God will go to heaven, and there's not a set number
right?
that can be
144?
allowed into heaven.
Yeah, Revelations.
Talk in the mic.
Zion with him. Okay, the Bible indicates that 144,000 people will be resurrected to heavenly life.
Oh, resurrected, like dead people?
No, like, just there's only going to be 144,000 people after the rapture. Everybody's dead.
Oh yeah,
So only 144,000 of those followers are going to go to heaven. The rest are going to live forever on paradise on earth.
Oh, so you're talking about like
Not in
there-
heaven. There's
yeah.
a difference between heaven
So
and
you're talking
paradise.
about after Revelations, after like the tribulation period, after like the hell on earth, the fiery pit, and all that.
after we
shit.
all die when Jesus
Yeah,
comes
you're
back,
talking about the biblical apocalypse after the biblical apocalypse.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then everybody else nobody's in heaven right now. That's what it's saying.
Oh, that nobody's
Yes.
in heaven, so they're waiting.
After the rapture, they will take 144,000 people in God's personal halls in heaven.
Okay.
Everybody else will live forever in paradise on earth.
Oh, so
a
Earth comes.
heaven-like area on earth.
So-
though.
So
Earth
they're not
becomes
in
heaven part
heaven
two.
right now.
That's what the Bible says.
So where are they?
Yeah, that's a
the
big
dirt.
because I'm a Christian and I am like
And your Bible's just told
yeah, that
you.
completely just fucked me up. That makes no sense to me though.
Because
Because
not.
it's just for someone
They're waiting for their souls to be
yeah,
saved
so
by
what are
Jesus
they
after
just
the
like
rapture.
stuck in purgatory?
I mean, Dante has a whole thing about that.
Dante's Inferno?
Which one? Jesus said, "No man has ascended into heaven."
Talking to Mike.
Jesus said, "No man has ascended into heaven." He thus showed that good people who died before him, such as Abraham, Moses, David, did not go to heaven, and said they had the hope of being resurrected to life on earth.
But
Maybe I
that's-
should just go to church because there's a lot of stuff that I don't know. But every time I go to church, maybe I should just get a Bible
They're
and
not
read
gonna
it.
tell you.
Maybe I
They'll
should
tell
just
you
get a
that's wrong.
Bible and read it because
Church
I
will
can't
tell you
go
that
to
shit's wrong, but they'll read it in their own fucking
I don't like
Bible.
going to church because every time I go to a church, I feel like I'm in a cult.
Yeah, you feel judged. Like even me, I'm
No,
a
it's not
Christian.
that. It's just like I can't stand up.
Because
I
your
can't.
tattoos?
It's not that I
Yeah,
feel
that's what's
judged.
horrible,
It feels
man.
like I'm in a cult.
Well, the Bible
Everybody's
says that.
singing at the same time, talking,
Yeah, man.
all this crazy shit. It just makes me feel like
God doesn't
I'm-
love you unless you sing songs about
Yeah.
him.
Exactly. And I think that's a bunch of bullshit. Like, the God I believe in is a loving God, someone that's very caring and merciful. And it's like, for a lot of these Christians to spew this hate, like, God hates you if you're gay, God hates you if you get tattoos, and this and that, the other, I think that's complete bullshit because God,
They just say that because they don't.
they
like
want you
it.
to, they want you to conform.
They
and
don't
it's
like
like,
it, so they need an excuse.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make them sound.
it's like,
just
how
shitty
could
people.
God
Well,
hate
my religion says I can't. So
yeah, like how could God hate like a form of love, like being a homosexual, like for real?
Well, technically, we're all created in God's image if you go by the
Exactly.
Bible. So homosexuals are created in
In
God's,
God's
image.
image.
Well, well, the thing about that is he didn't create them as homosexuals. They just
No,
went
but
that way.
no, I don't. Okay, well, I don't personally believe
That's
that
what they. That's what,
homosexuality
That's what the Bible
is a choice. I don't think it's a choice.
would say. I
No.
think it can be. I think
That's-
it can
Oh,
be.
it can
point.
be, but I think that there's
A lot
chemical
of-
imbalances and things that just people,
love who they love.
love who they love.
Yeah.
But this is what we're saying. Like the devil took him in the wrong
Yeah,
direction.
it's like the devil's like, you're
So
sleeping
they're-
with a
they're
man.
backed on that.
Yeah.
They have backed
I don't
on
know.
that
There's
part.
a lot of shit that I
I'm
don't
just saying, like
really like about Christianity. I don't know.
all of it.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, there's a
I don't
lot
know,
of shit.
if-
It's funny watching Christians. Like, it's funny when you get them all rattled up because they're like, they don't have any
Oh, yeah.
logical answers to reply to you.
Yeah.
So they're like, what about the fact that
Gotta
if
have
you wear
faith.
more than one article, like fabric
Mm-hmm.
in a shirt, like if it's cotton, polyester, that I have to be put to death. That's what the Bible says.
What?
And if you grow
The
more than one,
fuck?
if you grow more than one crop in the same garden, you get stoned to death.
I hate when I ask them
You
a
cannot
question.
marry and then remarry. That's a horrible sin. Can't have sex before marriage. I mean, this is all this like crazy stuff that you get put to death for. Can't eat shrimp. Can't eat shellfish like that. The only
No,
thing you
that's
can-
that's not in the Christianity.
It's in the Old
the
Testament.
Bible says the only thing that you can eat from
Isn't
the
that
ocean
like the
has scale
Jewish-
fish.
oh,
No,
okay.
it's not Jewish. It's a
Okay.
Christian Bible.
Well, the Old Testament is part of the Jewish.
I need to read that shit.
I don't know what testament it was from.
The Old Testament, a lot of the Jewish people believe in the Old Testament, but the New Testament of Jesus, they don't believe in that because
Okay.
Judaism believes that Jesus was not the Messiah.
So
no,
I'm
they
fine.
they believe that Jesus will be the Messiah. They just don't think he's come yet.
so they
They don't
completely-
believe because the Jews are the ones that killed Jesus, so they don't want to be responsible for killing the Messiah. So they pretty much said, "Well, he hasn't come yet, so we didn't kill the Messiah."
I just
Yeah.
want to put this out
they,
there.
they believe that there's a Messiah coming. They just don't think he's come yet.
Yeah.
I'm not bashing Christians, and I'm not like going, or anything. I'm not putting you down for being.
I'm not
a
bashing the
Christian
religion, I'm
or
bashing the
anything.
people.
Well, I'm not bashing all the people because not all everybody's like that.
Well, look at me.
li-
I'm
the ones that aren't like that
Listen,
are
not
not
everybody.
following the
Not
Bible correctly.
everybody.
I hate to say it.
Not everybody is like that. I'm a person, and I'm sure pretty much everybody in here is like this. If you're gay, you're gay. Good for you. That's cool. You can be you. If you believe in something, you can believe in that. Good for you. I hate when people force something on me, though.
That just
I
makes me
don't.
dislike it so
I
much
don't
more.
like when. And then I
Exactly.
also
I'm
don't
well
like.
right on the subject. I can talk about it all day.
Exactly.
I
There's
can
like-
school heavily vowed Christians on their
So
own
I'm
subject.
a fact
but
person. I like to
I
hear
view it
facts.
as a history, not a
Yeah.
reality.
I like to hear
Yeah.
facts, and I hate when I talk to somebody who is in the Christian religion and they say, like, I ask a question and like how do you know God is real? You're like, well, you just gotta have faith.
I know,
No,
man.
no, why? That's not an answer. And then we
It just
argue.
sucks 'cause
you
Matt's
just
like,
you
"Yeah,
just
I'm
gotta
like-"
have faith. Yeah, well,
This is-
I
this
hate
is my
that. I
thing,
hate that.
like-
I want to get to something real quick. If God wanted us to believe in Him, and He could have gave us choice, but why did He give us? Why did He build us the way we are with a human brain? A human brain is a see to believe thing.
Yeah,
He built
question
us.
Yeah.
in a way that he built us with a like to make us not believe in him. That's the way he built us. He built us.
Gave us free will.
You can give us free will, but don't build us with the brain that makes us
That
have
needs
to
logic and then not give us a logic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, there's a lot of flaws with pretty much everything they fucking do. But yeah, we got our friend Taylor sitting in the back, and he just brought up a current event that I had no fucking idea about. So I'm gonna let him talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, it happened all the way back in like March. So China voted about 2,998 to 2 to abolish the term limits. Basically, it allows the current president to stay in indefinitely, which, I mean, the people could vote him out, but he's had people killed who opposed him, so I don't see how they could.
So ultimately, we're saying is this basically turned into a dictatorship.
Literally a
That's what we were saying.
dictatorship.
Well, I
Like,
wouldn't say literally.
are you fucking kidding me?
I mean, there's still
No.
censorship, man. He'd
just-
still be voted out.
Yeah, but
That's
they're-
fucking crazy.
but if
though.
he's using fear as a tactic to get his way into office, and I personally believe that's a
Well,
dictatorship.
I mean, no, I mean, he might use fear to get in office.
Well, I
but
guess
at that point,
technically
he's still-
North Korea's that way. Technically, in North Korea, they vote. Technically,
No,
there's a
they
voting
don't.
system.
No, they don't. His
Isn't
people
there?
can't even eat.
Isn't it? No, there's a
It's
voting
passed down
system.
from grandfather to son to.
Am I right?
grandson.
There's no voting
So
system.
it was going to be turned into an oligarchy before Kim Jong Un's father died. So basically, it would have put the military leaders in charge, and then they could have been voted out. Some people think that Kim Jong Un's dad was killed because of that, to avoid so that he could take the throne.
I thought I saw something where they do an election just to make it look like Kim Jong Un is in there, but if you vote, if you
Dude.
don't vote for him,
He doesn't let his people have TV.
Then he kills them.
He's
For
letting his
real.
people have.
but do you know what I'm
fucking
saying?
voting rights.
I'm not
Dude.
saying that he gives them the option to vote. He just has.
He's gonna
the-
kill them anyways. He's killing them anyways.
Half of his civilians work in
Just to
labor
make him
camps.
If you
look
don't
good.
vote for me, I'm gonna kill you. If
Yeah.
you vote for me, I'm still gonna kill you. There's no
half,
voting system in
half
Korea.
his civilians live in labor
I thought I
camps
saw
their
something
entire
like that. I might
lives,
have
and I'm
to-
talking
I might have
about
to look
like
that
You're
up.
gonna have to look that up.
generations of
He
people.
has people vote to say that they like him.
Okay,
That's
maybe,
about
maybe,
it.
maybe. Okay, maybe. Yeah, that's wild.
That's fucking. That's just crazy.
But could this shit in China become like another dynasty?
So, well, basically, it could, but another important factor is they're putting a lot of money into trade routes, and they're trying to circumcise the United States out of a lot of those trade routes in the Middle East, in the China Sea, all around there.
Shit going down.
So would that affect the United States economy though?
I mean, it could, and
No.
How's that if they don't want anything
They're
incorporated
getting-
with us, right?
What do you mean they don't want anything?
I thought that's
Say
what
that
just
again,
Taylor just said.
Did you just say they don't want anything incorporated with us through
No,
shipping
so-
routes?
no,
Because
they're-
a
they're
lot
not-
of their shit comes to
they're
the
not
United
cutting us out. They're basically their area of the world. They would maintain on autonomy, like throughout, like with like Thailand, Japan. They would basically control all those trade routes. Anything coming from there to here, they would make all the money on.
So we're losing money.
They already do.
Not right now.
Well, they did before.
Um,
Before Trump, we had no import taxes on them.
Tariffs.
Tariffs, same thing. Sorry. Sorry, whatever. Yeah. Yeah. We didn't have that on them. Trump is just now starting to do that.
That's probably why they're trying to fucking cut us out. Shit.
Why? I mean, we take most of their
I'm
stuff.
pretty sure anything that has to do with cutting us out or changing shit on us is gonna affect us somehow.
If it affects us, it affects them.
Well, yeah, because like,
We're a
we,
mate.
we owe most of our debt to China. So,
but isn't it the other way around too? Like China owes us a lot as
No,
well.
no.
also a lot of Europe,
$25 trillion.
$1 trillion. It goes
Holy
up like
shit.
it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
a lot of Europe's debt is to China too, so they can't say anything. The European Union will not make any comments on any sort of labor abuse, any problems with killing people in China, because China will just be like, "Hey, pay us back."
So speaking on this, did Trump ever? And I saw that there was a thing going on with Trump and Kim where they were going to sign like, I guess it was like a.
It was a
peace-
prison reform.
pe-
They were just getting
Weren't
some
they doing
lady
like
out
a
of jail,
peace
Alice.
thing though? I thought it was
No.
like a no.
Prison reform.
That was it.
That's all I was reading
You're
about.
talking about the
I
Pacific
thought-
Rim or North Korea?
I'm talking about North
There was-
Korea.
oh, you're talking about. I thought you were talking about Kim Kardashian.
No.
The Kim Jong Un thing. I mean,
Yeah.
if you want to talk about it, you can. But the Kim Jong Un thing was like him dismantling his nuclear plants, his nuclear missile sites, and stuff like
last
that.
week. I thought it was some.
It was the mid-June, so 3 weeks ago. So basically, what they did was they met and they said that they were making a plan and that it was going to be signed. But basically, it's the same as the Iran deal, which Trump said was the worst deal we've ever made. So, also,
Well, wasn't that Iran deal like really sketchy?
Well, the sketchy thing about it. Well, the sketchy thing about it was that we weren't allowed to go in there and check shit out. That
Yeah,
was the
that's
whole
what was
deal.
sketchy. We said, okay,
we were allowed to check certain ones. The ones that were considered denuclearized, we didn't check. So those are the ones that people were saying.
I would just say they're
So we can't be fucking
denuclear.
sure.
I would just say that they're denuclearized and fucking put nukes in them.
Well, I feel like we would kind of notice like shit getting shipped around because we like when it comes to like Syria, like we pick up everything that gets moved. I feel like they. I mean, guess they could be a little bit under the fucking blanket with it, but
I don't know, but I heard
The
gas
North Korean
prices were
thing-
supposed to come down when we did that shit, and there wasn't a good
yeah, the whole North
change
Korea
in
thing
gas
was just Kim
prices.
Jong Un just pretty much agreeing to completely. How many years did he say it was going to take to completely dismantle the nuclear? It was a good many years, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it like 15 or something like that?
I'd also like to comment on the fact that after that meeting, Trump said, and I quote, "I wish people in my country would stand at attention when I spoke."
Ooh.
That's kind of fucking
Sounds-
scary.
I mean,
Okay.
I wouldn't want to exemplify myself in Kim Jong Un. He kind of sets the bar really low.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Trump, but how about the fucking thing was when he did that zero tolerance? I mean, I don't think he's the one that created that. I think that's sort of the Clinton administration.
Bush.
Was it Bush?
Yeah.
I don't know why I keep thinking it was the Clinton administration. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, basically, the reason you think that it was Clinton is because Trump's administration, they first blamed Obama, then Bush's wife, I forget, I'm drawing a blank on her name, she came out against it, so they said, oh, it was Bush's fault, and then they went back and said it was Clinton's fault, and then they said it was Bush's dad's fault. They really just can't decide whose fault it was.
Yeah, but the whole thing he was doing, he was like separating families at the border. It was a zero tolerance thing, and they were throwing kids, like even kids like under one, in these detention like holding centers at the Mexican border, separating the families. And then I don't know if it was how many. I think it was just one Supreme Court judge, right, that ruled it that they had to reunite those families. They said they gave them 2 weeks to reunite a child with their family if they're 5 or under, and then 30 days for any kid over the age of 5. And then Trump signed the executive order to stop the separation of families and detain the whole family altogether so that the kids could stay with the families. So it's basically just like it seems like as much as Trump was talking about getting this border thing under control, it's a lot. I think he's starting to find out it's a lot more difficult than what he anticipated.
Yeah, what he
Went in there with their
It's not just
surefire
building a
fucking.
wall.
It's like this surefire fucking plan to do all the shit, and then they find out like shit. I gotta do some pretty like humane and insensitive things
Oh,
to do
yeah.
this, and if I do that, then
You're
the whole world
literally
fucking hates
breaking
me.
up entire families and putting kids in cages. I saw a fucking photo of like 3 kids all
and then
under
you got
the age of 10
fucking
in
people,
cages.
like, supporting him, and they're like zero tolerance. If we don't do something, then they're gonna like.
I just think it's funny that the fact.
Where's compassion?
I
Yeah,
just think
where's
it's kind of
human
funny
rights
in the
gone?
beginning he was all talking about the wall and shit, and a good percentage of the immigrants that come in to our country and they stay past their time here. They're legal. They come in with a visa and then their visa expires and they just stay. So the wall's really not going to do you any good. They're flying here with a visa
that's
and
what
staying after their visa
That's
is
what
up.
ICE is for. That's
Yeah.
what ICE is going
Yeah,
around
but the
getting those
wall's
people.
not going to stop. And if 90% of those people are
No, but
flying
that's
here
what ICE
legally,
is for. ICE is for that particular. That's what these things are getting jump started for. ICE is going around finding those people and then deporting them,
Well,
taking
then
out of their
maybe
homes.
instead
and
of
deporting
putting all of that money into the wall that he built his entire campaign off of, we should put more money into ICE.
them. No,
When
I
we're
don't like
deporting a
ICE. I
lot
don't know
of-
about you. I don't want to say despise, but I don't like watching. these
Strongly
ICE videos.
disagree with it.
Yeah, but if we put money into
What do
ICE,
you
they could
mean, Will?
reform it and make it better.
They could,
Not
they
under.
could,
I don't
they
think
could.
it'll be done under Trump, but
They could. It's
it
just like-
could be done.
ICE just reminds me of the FBI. It was created and then boom, it just fucking skyrocketed to corrupt as fuck, And that's all. That's all. It just reminds me of a secondary FBI. That's all it reminds me of. Just for immigrants instead of
How's it corrupt? Explain it
the
to me.
FBI.
No.
ICE?
How's ICE corrupt?
It's not corrupt at the moment. It's just you got like
It's immoral. I see.
Not-
No,
not
hold
just
on. If they're
immoral.
in our country, you're in our country.
Oh, if you're in our country
and
illegally,
you're not here
yeah.
paying. Well, we're not. ICE is not deporting legal immigrants.
No.
They're deporting illegal immigrants who are
Yeah.
here, and it's not that they're taking our jobs. It's just the fact that these people come in. I don't believe in that. These people are taking the jobs that we don't want to do. I think that the
What's
problem
your-
is that they're coming in and they're making this money, and it's not taxed. And all of
if they're
this
working
money
for a company, then it's taxed.
It's not if they're.
Well, what this is what
if-
they're
if-
doing
if
is they're
they're
coming
illegal.
in. They're coming in. They're making money off of one. Like they'll get like Social Security cards and shit.
Yeah.
Then they'll go back to their country, take the money with them, come back under a new name, under new Social Security, collect welfare off the first identity that they came in with, and then work under the second one. So they're collecting welfare and working at the same time. That's what my issue is, because they're coming in the second time with a totally different identity, new Social Security card, ID, shit like that, claiming welfare off the first one, and then working to make money off the second one. That's what they're doing. That's what my issue is. And you can talk because he wanted to grab the mic pretty bad. So
Fuck, hold on.
fucking school
No, I forgot. No, so what I was gonna say was commenting on yours. They're also deporting people who have DACA, which was put into effect under Obama, and Trump doesn't like Obama, so he's basically saying,
He's trying to completely
Fuck your
tarnish.
walls.
Yeah, he's trying
Yeah.
to completely tarnish everything Obama built.
And he said that.
Yeah.
Just like the healthcare, and he's like, I'm just gonna get rid of it just because it was Obama's. And then they're like, oh shit, we can't come up with anything
well,
better.
not everything. The Obamacare wasn't completely bad.
Wasn't.
It was flawed. They should have tried to fix it instead of just going, "No, we're good. We're just going to start over. We're not sure how we're starting over, but we're going to do that."
Obama wasn't even the one who created it. That was in the works for mad long.
Yeah, but not only that, but
Pretty sure that was in the works back in like.
a lot of these
Clinton
guys, a
administration.
lot of these presidents don't do a lot of things. I mean, unless they executive order, which I mean, Obama did a lot of. But
Yeah.
I mean, you pretty much just have somebody on the second floor of the White House. All these like groups just like coming up with policies and shit, and presidents just kind of overview them, and then everybody takes a look at it, passes
I
it around.
personally
and,
think-
is this gonna work? And then they either stick it to the wall and hope it stays there, or they just fucking like, no, there's no way that's gonna fucking work. But I mean, like you said, his whole campaign was built around the wall, healthcare, jobs. I mean, he's doing pretty well as far as taxes and jobs, but that wall is first off, it's not up, and they can't come up with a decent
That wall's
immigration
not
policy.
happening.
And healthcare,
I'm just
they're
saying.
fucking falling pretty short on too. So I
Yeah.
mean, I definitely like Trump compared to the other choice that we had.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I agree with that.
That's like saying, "Am I going to kill myself with a knife or a gun?" No.
It was. I mean, it was. It's weird. It's fucking. Oh, okay. I don't want to talk about fucking Trump anymore. That is. So okay. So. I don't. Did I tell you this last time we were talking? That fucking flat Earth people have fucking conventions now.
Fucking conventions.
Flat Earth conventions where
That
thousands of people
offends
show up
me.
and talk about the like science behind it.
That's a.
I'm trying to fucking figure out where the fucking science is coming
I was
from.
going to say, where's the science?
Just shit it out, take a picture of it, and then bring it to the fucking convention all framed and shit.
Right.
Here's the science.
Pretty
Pour it right
much.
on my fucking ass.
I think there might have been like a picture book I read that said the Earth was flat.
It's
Maybe
fucking
that's what
crazy.
they're using. I don't know.
Like, there's dude. You know what they're saying about the evidence that the Earth is fucking spherical? Is that the pictures are fucking doctored? They're fake.
How the fuck
These
is
pictures
that?
are fake.
How the fuck
the
is that?
satellites are?
It makes
nobody's
no
in-
sense.
Nobody's been to space yet.
It's like the same conspiracy theory that the sun rotates around the Earth.
Well, one of their theories is like why the Earth is like. So we're not rotating. We're just our Earth is flat and. There's no such thing as gravity. We're just
Yes, people are
flying.
saying that too.
How
We're
the fuck is
flying-
nothing-
We're
what?
So what they're
They said it
what
was
their idea
magnetic.
is- well, there's another one that their idea is that the Earth is flat and there's no gravity, and the only reason we're staying on the Earth is because our planet is moving upwards at an extremely
Yo,
fast
that's
pace,
awesome.
flying through
Yo,
space.
what are they
Yeah, I'm about to
smoking?
tell
Because
everybody
I
that's what it
want
is.
some. I want some
but
whatever
the
they're
flat
smoking.
earthers, they also don't believe in gravity because they think it's like magnetic and it like pulls you
We're
down.
not made out of metal.
Well, I saw this funny meme and it was like
I don't know, man. That's just fucking.
I saw this funny meme and it was
seen
like
X-Men?
it was like this flat it was a flat earth and it was like moving upwards really fast and then it got down and like it hit like a rock in space and the whole fucking thing just started turning like a coin flip.
I'm pretty sure B.O.B. does tours just to tell people.
Yeah,
that the Earth is
B.O.B.
flat.
believes that the earth is flat and
He's
that's
like, there's
crazy.
a couple other people like fucking basketball players and shit I've seen with this.
Yeah,
It's
that's
the
wild.
same as-
and they don't think fucking dinosaurs existed because they can't make like fucking whole. They can't
Oh,
get
yeah,
the big
yeah.
picture from small parts. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, that's how some, like, crimes with human remains are fucking solved. Like, they get the big picture based off the, like, they have shit to do this. They go inside of these bones. They fucking calculate.
Most of the planets that we see far away, the pictures that you see of these planets, they're not actual pictures. They're illustrated, drawn things from temperature maps and everything, and they're based off of our planet. And
some of them, some of them.
A lot of them, because
most of the planets in our solar system, they have images.
Yeah,
of, like,
but we
Mars
don't have
and shit.
Dude, we got some
images
pretty
of, like,
fucking
stuff
powerful
like-
telescopes.
Yeah, they got some
Yeah,
long,
but
they
out
got
of
some
our
far
s-
pictures, dude.
But out of our solar system,
Out
we
of it,
don't
no.
have stuff.
But like,
Like,
in
they
our
found, what was
solar
it, like,
system,
six planets?
But like all
they
the
found?
Kepler stuff, like the Alpha Centauri system. Wait, it's Alpha Centauri, right? That's the nearest star.
I think so.
no
Yeah.
idea.
The planets orbiting around that, like the Alpha Centauri B and stuff. They have you look that shit up and there's pictures of it, but we pieced that together from temperature maps and stuff data that we had received back. That's not actual pictures. Artists drew that shit up. So I mean, if you're gonna hate on, like, dinosaurs not being real because you don't have all the bones, you should probably start talking a lot of shit about science and space.
NASA.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of that stuff is just guesswork until they can figure it out. Like recently,
It's guesstimation.
yeah. Recently, they actually found, slightly off topic, but still in space, Mars. They found an organism that was alive.
Single cell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw
So,
that.
which proves that life sustaining was possible on Mars at one point.
Well, not only that, but remember they just came out with, they found, it was like 6 planets that had trees and water and mountains and shit. They determined it had all that shit. They didn't know if the air was sustainable for life or anything like that, but it was 6 fucking planets that were very identical to Earth.
But who says there can't be an organism that doesn't necessarily have to have our needs for life? Like certain
Yeah,
organisms,
that's exactly.
could,
Yeah,
you
man.
know,
You ever see Titan?
yeah, right. Like certain
yeah.
organisms can thrive off of certain stuff just because
Even on
our,
Earth, they do that.
Yeah, just because
You
our
have animals
genetic
that live close to fucking volcanoes and can sustain heat
yeah,
like that.
and
Like,
just because our
you're
genetic
absolutely right.
makeup isn't identical to other organisms doesn't mean that other organisms can't thrive in different atmospheres. Right?
aliens just a word that says
The
not from
Greys.
here.
Yeah.
Or not from
Well,
here.
alien, it's foreign. It's foreign.
Yeah.
Like we call illegal immigrants aliens.
Speaking to that, the Mars thing, there is other proof that there was people similar or like us because there was water there.
Yeah.
And that's one of the base blocks for.
Our genetic makeup for life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they found what was
Well,
it, like
no.
particles that showed evidence. They showed particles that there's evidence of snow on Mars at one point.
Snow?
That's where, yeah. At,
Okay.
like, but yeah, I don't know about the people. I have to read more about that. But
Yeah, I
the
remember
organisms definitely. It
Did
was
you see
fucking-
that star? Forget what star. Tabby's star. Did you hear anything about that?
No.
So the Tabby star is a star that's like hell far.
Wait, hold
But-
up. Speaking of stars, what about this whole Planet X shit that happened?
That's fake.
Yeah, I feel like that's in a category of
Flat Earths. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
Yeah. Okay. So Tabby star. Sorry, Matt rudely interrupted me. Okay.
Fuck you now.
So Tabby star. It's a star that we have been monitoring for a while, and it's slowly dimming. Like we get stuff from it, and it gets brighter, and then it dims, and it gets brighter, and it dims. And one of the theories on that, I don't know, have you guys ever heard of the Kardashev scale?
No.
No.
Okay, so the Kardashev scale was named after this dude with the last name Kardashev. I can't remember his first name, but off of that scale, it goes type 0, type 1, type 2, and type 3. So right now, Earth is a Kardashev 0. We're a type 0
What does that necessarily
civilization.
mean? Oh,
So
civilization.
we can harness. When you're a type 1, you can harness 100% of your planet's sustainable energy.
Okay, no, what'd you say we were?
type 0.
Type
We're
0.
not at 100% yet. Within the next 100 years, we should be at 100% sustainable energy. Type 2 is where you can harness the full power of your solar system's star.
Okay.
Type 3 is where you can harness the power of the entire universe, like galaxies, stars.
Yeah.
And there's something they came up with called a Dyson sphere in a thing that we would be able to capture other suns' energy.
Yeah,
And
is that? I think I know what you're talking about now.
It it absorbs like the entire. It goes around the entire sun. It's like a fucking sphere that just engulfs the sun, and it's basically like a bunch of solar panels almost, and it brings all the energy from the sun. And there's some theories that Tabby star could possibly be a Kardashev 3 civilization. Yeah.
Taking energy from the star.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild, and it
it's
makes a
crazy.
lot of fucking sense
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
I was reading about
It's
that.
just a theory, but there's definitely some weird shit going on with Tabby star. I mean, there's another theory that
There's all kinds of stuff that people can
there's
explain.
another
They just
theory
make
that
up some like
it's
logical.
like a dust
like,
cloud going in.
Like
front
you remember that
of
like
the sun, so.
what was it?
Like a dust cloud, like a broken asteroid or something that got obliterated, and it's just dust cloud that's kind of orbiting around the sun.
This shit blows my mind
Yeah.
sometimes.
Well, have you ever heard of rogue planet? Like I watch a lot of shit on space, and it blows my mind. Like there's such thing as rogue planets, and it's planets that don't have a star to orbit, so they're literally just flying through space at millions of trillions of miles an hour, just fucking moving, and could collide with anything,
Yeah.
our planet at any time. So they say that's how the moon was made on Earth.
Yeah, because
yeah.
Earth was like a
Small-sized planet,
huge
like the
lava
size of
rock,
Mars,
right?
Hit our Earth and blew a chunk
Yeah.
of Earth off into space.
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
formed the moon.
I thought it was like at some point when Earth wasn't inhabitable, it was just a huge lava rock,
Yeah.
and that rock hit us, and like the force like ripped this crust off, and
Yeah.
then that's what formed it. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like when our Earth was habitable.
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
It would've been crazy.
Shit like that is fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Did you ever I was reading this fucking. I just finished this book on. You might be educated on this. Lost City of Atlantis.
Yeah, oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
Lost
You
City
well
of
read
It.
on that, half and half. I actually watched a couple of lectures on it too, which is crazy. You go ahead.
I mean, I know the Atlantis that Aquaman's from.
Oh,
Is that gonna put it up?
Fuck yeah.
No, but it was crazy because this dude, his name was Dr. Greg Little. He's a psychiatrist turned explorer, and him and his wife went down like all the time and did like hundreds of dives.
To Atlantis?
No. Atlantis has never been discovered. But what they were finding was they were going down there and doing these dives, and like they were finding things that people were like, they were giving them like tips on like where you could find like cool things, and they get down there and they like discover, okay, this is like a Mayan ruins that was just submerged over time. But then they found there's one ruins that like couldn't be explained, and they were the finest cut stone that they've ever seen. And what they found was there's a beach under the ocean. So there's a new shoreline with these buildings at the edge of the beach, and they've been there before, but it wasn't there before.
And it was
they
still
think
intact?
it was like 10 years ago. It was, well, what they think was like, okay, so the dude originally started out writing books on Native American like burial mounds and
Yeah,
shit like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But basically, how it goes is the story of Atlantis is that there's this super advanced civilization that had technology beyond its time. And everybody assumes that it was like technology beyond ours, but it
Yeah.
could have been equally as ours. And
Yeah.
what happened was they were like just fucking hit by this fucking just submerged in water. They were devastated by a catastrophe that submerged their entire city.
Yeah.
So after that,
A whole piece of their
the
land
remaining
broke off.
this is what wait, what?
A whole piece of their land broke off?
Like it could have. You said
I feel
like
like
a wave.
I feel like Ty was talking more like a tsunami.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, but that shit recedes into the ocean. It goes
just-
back. Like you know how California is just supposed to fucking break
Yeah, yeah,
off
yeah.
the United States at
Yeah.
some point.
But what he found was like all these different things like within different civilizations, Mayans, Aztecs,
Yeah.
fucking Indians and shit.
Yeah.
And there are things that were like not from like them.
Kind of like the pyramids.
Like a
where the
different
fuck the
civilization
pyramids
came
come
in and like changed their shit up.
Oh.
And that's what they're saying. And then what
okay.
they found was like, so they found all these like sculptures that looked like they were supposed to be Mayan, but they weren't.
Mm-hmm.
And then they fucking discovered the underwater shoreline. And he was basically saying like, because like you think about like a technologically advanced civilization, if we were to get hit by something like that now,
Yeah.
we'd be done.
Our civilization, it would be done.
Because technology
science-
doesn't last. The only thing that lasts
No.
is stone.
Yeah, and
That's the
science.
only thing. They're like, because everybody's always like, "Where's the technology at now? Why don't we see it underwater?" Like, because thousands of years later, that shit's gonna be gone.
Exactly. Like anything to do with like electricity, it will be gone.
If we get hit by a pretty powerful solar flare, they could wipe out the nation's entire
Exactly.
electrical infrastructure.
That's
and
what I'm
we would
saying.
have to
So the
restart.
weakest civilizations are the ones who are most technologically
Yes,
advanced.
yes.
Exactly, because they're better
What
prepared.
he was saying was because they were so technologically advanced, they didn't know how to fucking survive or prepare for this catastrophe. So what they did was the survivors got set back to primitive times, which is why
That's
their
what
sciences
happened.
didn't carry on because they had
Yeah.
to start over from stone.
Yeah.
They had to diverse into different civilizations, and what they're doing is they're seeing that these Indians and these Aztecs and these Mayans had images of these different looking people, and people always associate them with aliens, but a lot of Atlantean believers think that it was people from Atlantis who were just a little bit more civilized. They came in and just took over shit.
Yeah,
and
like adopted the Aztecs and Mayans ways
Yeah.
almost to thrive.
adopted and then like perfected.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the Aztecs
Critiqued
learned shit
them
from
and
them.
Made
Well, speaking of that shit, like you're talking about that, I was like watching something on the pyramids.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
most
well, they're-
definitely.
like
and they-
some of that shit.
We can't even build the pyramids today.
The
We
measurements.
could, it would just take
the measurements.
severely huge equipment.
The
Yeah.
measurements that were cut on that stone were off of like 1/100th of an inch. Like it was something crazy. And they're also aligned with True North.
Yeah,
Which is
yeah.
insane.
Yeah, I believe that was. I mean, I don't think it was anything extraterrestrial
No, but
behind
that's
that. I
crazy.
just think it was like amazing
Well, I
people.
don't
no,
know.
but it's like how
I don't
the
think there's
fuck-
any. I don't think there's any mark that aliens have
but
been
like,
here that they
how
exist. I
did,
believe
like,
they
a
do,
group
but I don't
of
think there's
10
any mark
people
of it.
get like like 1,000-pound block of
Definitely
limestone.
wasn't 10
logs
people.
and logs and
Way more, but I'm
logs
just
and rope,
saying.
dude. I
But
mean,
it's
they
de-
could do
well,
it now.
no, it's definitely crazy because I watched a thing for them to lift one of them stones. I saw like one of those 12. You know those cranes that are on them trucks that look like fire trucks almost.
Yeah.
I watched. It took 12 of those things to lift one of
those
fucking
limestones.
stones.
Yeah.
So can you imagine fucking pushing that shit up once you get to the fucking top?
Oh my god.
I mean,
Well, if you have enough slaves, then anything's
Yeah,
possible.
I guess a lot of people died.
man.
You know, they buried
one
them
died,
in
and
the
then
two.
fucking they
No,
had two more to come.
They
in.
put some of them. They were, they weren't really slaves actually.
they
They were
were.
forced to work.
Dude,
Yeah,
they were totally
They were
slaves.
They were
They
paid
were-
wage.
They were slaves. A lot of them were Egyptians.
They were paid
Jewish.
wage.
Jews. Yeah,
Yeah,
Egyptians
Jews.
made the Jews were slaves.
They were
Yeah.
paid wage.
No, they weren't.
Yes,
They
they were.
worked
Look
till
it
they
up.
died.
Look it up.
They worked till they
Look
died,
it up.
Noah, and then
Look
they
it up.
buried them
And
in
if you-
with the
and
pyramids.
if it's wrong, you can prove me wrong right here on the podcast. They were paid wage, and a lot of those actually built that in respect for their pharaoh.
I feel like that's a bit.
Look it
flawed.
up. They
think
were
it
paid
is,
wage. They
too.
ate well. Food was provided for them.
They weren't allowed to stop working until they died.
For real. For real. I
I
feel like
look it up. I don't think that. But did you see about that Sphinx? I did it.
I don't know about the.
I
heard
was
there's a
talking
different
about,
face
like,
under the Sphinx.
pyramids.
Well, the thing about the Sphinx is they've only uncovered like 5% of it.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah,
still
yeah.
fucking huge.
Yeah, but isn't like half like more than like you just said it's buried, right? Is
Yeah,
it buried?
95%
Yeah.
of it is still buried.
Yeah.
They haven't gotten to it. But what they found was these marks, like weather marks,
Mm-hmm.
and it indicates that Sphinx was under heavy rainfall for
Wow.
about 2,000 years,
Like
which
holy
would
shit.
predate it
from the
a
Egyptian
lot
time
older
period.
than the pyramids.
But what
Which
it,
means it was there thousands of years before the pyramids were there,
But
and that everything we know about its age is completely wrong.
was it like there like before the civilization of the Egyptians as well? Then
Yeah, it had to be.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
some of those workers that died were buried in the tombs.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well,
just-
they weren't, if they were slaves, they just would have been tossed.
Are you sure you're not talking about like
I'm thinking they were
officials?
policy, right?
Like
So it's becoming a more prevailing theory that they were not slaves and were more privileged workers, not necessarily like on the level of workers nowadays.
Like very
no,
low
no,
class.
but they weren't slaves. They were paid in a.
But it is a hotly argued topic. There's a big side that says they were slaves and a big side that says they weren't.
They're all Jewish, and Egyptians hated Jews.
right?
They did. That was the whole like thing.
Yeah.
Egyptians hated fucking Jews, and the Jews built the pyramids. I could be fucking wrong about that, but
So you're like,
wasn't
you're
it
half
Jews?
right.
Good job, now you're 50% right. You
I
get
don't
a
know, I
sticker.
watched and read a lot of stuff on that, so.
I don't care about
just-
watching. I do more reading
Well,
than
History
watching.
Channel shit and stuff like that. I'm not just watching. or
Yo,
watching
History
them.
Channel shit is what you want to avoid.
Yeah,
No,
no,
Because
there's
they're the
some
ones-
stuff. Some of those are
Avoid History
documented
Channel. Avoid it.
articles. What are they called?
Every
What are they
historian
called?
and scientist will tell you don't fucking listen.
academic journals.
No, sourced articles.
To this. Do not listen to History Channel. That's what all these experts tell you.
So I will say, to your theory, it has been researched by people from Harvard and stuff like that. So it's not just the History Channel, but
Well, I'm saying it
hasn't been completely proven yet.
Too. I'm not just saying I solely base my facts off of History Channel.
That's pretty much what you
aliens
said.
because Ancient Aliens is a show.
No.
What was fucking hair going?
Aliens. no,
Fuck,
but
that's a topic like the aliens topic is so fucking hard to have with people.
Oh yeah, but I
Because you got the ones who believe, but they believe like and the
horror,
dumb shit.
the horror portrayed.
Yeah,
aliens.
like they're fucking. They have to be more advanced than us. They have to have made contact. They have to be watching us.
They
have
abduct
to
us and test on
look a
us.
certain way. They have
Yeah.
to do all this shit, and it's like no, like you literally could just be
It's something we don't understand.
fucking
they're
like
alien.
a planet full of fucking toddlers. Like I mean, they could be like
Yeah.
anything. It'd be fucking animals.
Well, we could be a zoo effect.
There's just
Are
people
you talking about like
profiting
that
off
episode
the
of South Park where they literally took like a fraction of each civilization? It was like we put the deers with the lions, and it was a really good reality show until we destroyed it.
Oh my god!
No,
yeah,
we could be like a zoo
Fucking-
effect. They could have sent us to this planet and watched. They're observing.
Who
us.
would have sent us, Noah?
That is a
The
far
aliens.
reach, and
That is a
was-
far ass
we
fucking
could.
reach.
We,
I'm gonna say anything's possible, but at the same time, I'm gonna say
That's a far
Beast-
could be
fucking
an
if
reach.
it-
experiment. You don't know.
let's.
Or we could be in the Matrix.
Yeah, I believe that
far
more.
from
You don't believe that?
I believe that
Elon
more.
Musk says it's one in what is it?
1 in 1 billion.
1 in 1 billion chance that we're not
Elon Musk.
Elon
Smart.
Musk.
Personally,
Smart
I
fucking-
like Logic's theory. I don't know if you've listened to Waiting Room, but it seems pretty accurate.
Well, I mean, no, I'm not the
I don't know, I
Matrix
think there's
kind
a
of person.
lot of crazy shit that could happen.
That just can't be explained.
No, I showed you. Did
Yeah,
you
yeah. You showed me that video.
I'm not gonna get into that because
You
you're just
should.
like, oh, it's on YouTube. I know it's
No,
not. I know none
some,
of that shit.
some. I believe people that make channels like that more because they cite their
some of those were
credible
scientific
sources. It's
studies.
really hard to find a legit
Yeah.
credible
Oh,
source.
nowadays, but
History
back
Channel
then-
just pulls like these bum ass fucking like people who think they know shit and they're like, okay, how can we get people to watch this? Let's make a show called Ancient Aliens.
with a dude with the
fucking crazy
huge
hair.
ass hair, right? And all these
Just
dudes
spew some
aliens.
shit about the aliens coming in and like fucking raping people, and then they built pyramids in like a second. And, like there's so many sources that are not credible because
I
people.
think an advanced civilization definitely built the pyramids, though.
I don't. Vance. Okay, yes. Like I believe. I more definitely believe over aliens that the Atlanteans.
But
Stuff like that. I don't
but
think
it's
they
just
weren't
like-
involved in the.
But it kind of doesn't make sense. Like even with the equipment we
you know,
have
it took
today,
a long time to build the pyramids,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
It took,
yeah.
Just like the Eastern Island heads, people's like, how did they get those there? Like
But
it took
with
thousands,
The
like 1,000
equipment
years
we
to do that
have
shit.
today, we couldn't even build the pyramids in like
the
a
Eastern Island
couple
heads, it took
hundred
it like it was
years.
over a span of like 1,000 years. So they just.
Pyramids were tombs, and they were meant to put.
They're more
Do you know how
than
long
just
it took to
tombs.
build those?
They're more than just tombs,
They
though.
definitely. I'm pretty sure they definitely did it within a lifetime.
No,
of their-
no fucking way. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, what the fuck?
What the fuck? You know they mummified them,
How
right?
long did it
Yeah,
take?
what the fuck?
How long
No
does it take? Look
way.
that shit up. Like, because like how the fuck?
Like they said, the Eastern Islands were easier, and it took them
I
like
don't know.
hundreds of years.
Dude,
maybe
no
not.
fucking way. In a lifetime of a pharaoh. No way. No way in
So what do they
shit.
do with the body when they're?
Mummify
Mummify
them.
it.
So if it takes thousands,
It preserves
of
their
years, they just
body.
hold
It
them
might
like-
not be
like
thousands,
like
but I was
Tutankhamun.
reading about the Easter Island. It took them. That was a lot easier. All they did do was chisel those rocks and then put them up. Took them. They said it took over. Took about 1,000 years.
Maybe
Some shit like
Ty's
that.
probably right.
Well,
Couple
because
hundred, maybe it
they
is.
mummified
Now,
those
they
pharaohs.
probably all
so-
shit ton more people on the pyramids.
Wiki.
History Channel.
See what the History Channel says.
No, it's gonna be like fuck you. I
I'm
was
like
right.
very particular about like when I'm going to find a book on shit like this.
Well, credible sources is
It's hard to find.
what you thrive for with valid
Sometimes even
information.
scholars, because scholars are so like, it's once they make their mind up about something and they're sure about
It's
it,
very
just
hard
like
to
the Sphinx.
sway them.
The scholars were like, nope, that's not possible, and the dude's like, the science is right here.
Yeah.
It's been under rainfall for 2,000 years prior to when the pyramids were built, and they're like, nope,
And
I don't
nobody,
care.
nobody
Doesn't-
understands like how a theory comes into effect, like especially like a biological
to
or
be
scientific
perfectly
theory.
honest, like pretty much everything we know from that far back is literally like theory. I mean, it has a
It
high
is
percentage of
theory.
being correct, but we can't be 100%.
no
sure.
way, we weren't there, you know. And it's like it's all. I would say it's
You just
all
take what logic you can,
speculation.
put it together, and
It's
then
like a
think.
puzzle. And I feel like a lot of these history, like the Egyptians and the Aztecs and the Mayans, I feel like we're missing a big piece to a lot of those puzzles.
So actually, Noah might be right. According to most of the, I've looked at like 6 different websites that all come from like museum research and stuff like that.
History
and it's
Channel.
saying between. No, I omitted the History Channel just for the sake of argument. And it's saying it took about 20 years to build the basis for it, but they continued to build onto it and took about probably another like 20 to 30 years. So it could have been within a
Bullshit.
lifetime.
That's what I thought. I thought it was in a lifetime. They
No
were meant as
fucking
tombs.
way.
I mean, if you're working around the clock every day, I mean, look at the shit that we put up now in days. We can build a house in a day.
But look at our technology.
Okay,
though.
but give it 20 years without our technology, we could still do it.
I think it's a long
And
shot.
thousands of workers.
Slaves.
workers.
50-50 Noah.
Yeah, see, most of these sites that are saying that it took anywhere from like 20 to 50 years are saying it was slaves. So I don't. You gotta pick one.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I'm pretty sure when I took history class, like that's what I.
No,
learned.
you're
We were
immediately
taught
a
that.
scholar in
History
history.
class also taught us that Christopher Columbus was fucking amazing. So
Yeah, and he's a rapist.
That's
and
not what I was
murderer.
taught. I was taught that he was a rapist.
Well, and I
and a
also
murderer.
found out that Alexander the Great may have been just as bad as Hitler.
Yeah.
We still call him the Great.
Well, I mean, Hitler was great at what he did.
I'm cutting that.
No, at what he did.
cutting that out.
Alexander the Great was like gay and shit. So
We're
No.
getting rid of that.
No, Hitler was great at what he. You got to think about it.
he was great at being
Yeah, but
He was
the
great at
difference was
being
Alexander
evil.
the Great did all this shit way back when it was at least semi-acceptable. It's still
Yeah,
bad, but back
yeah.
then it was normal. Hitler did this during the fucking 40s.
No, I'm not saying Hitler was a
Hitler
good
was one of the
person.
most evilest persons.
But the
that
way
you can-
I'm not saying he was a
Matt,
great
why do you
person.
hate Jews? I just-
No, I don't. I'm not saying he was a great person, but you just gotta think the manipulation and the just utter just.
So am I supposed to say that, like Osama bin Laden was great at what he did as
No,
well? Like,
no.
I mean, that's basically what you're
He
saying.
didn't accomplish as much.
No,
mean,
not
he
as
did
much
a
as
lot.
Hitler.
There's a lot.
No, he
He
didn't.
knocked down the fucking Twin Towers.
Bullshit. There's a theory on that. I don't
Okay,
believe
I don't wanna
9/11
go those
exists.
theories.
Bush did 9/11.
No, I don't.
Those series are fun.
I'm
but
just saying. Basically, what you just said.
Hitler wasn't. He was.
You can't argue that you could say Hitler is great at what he did and then say, "Oh, well, I'm
You
not talking
gotta.
about it."
I'm not
I mean,
saying
he was
he's
great at what he
evil.
did.
Yeah, he was great. He manipulated an entire country. Yeah, I wasn't saying he was a good person, but I was saying the way he was.
How can you not say what he did? Like
He is a huge historical figure.
morale.
So was Saddam Hussein.
Saddam Hussein didn't mean shit compared to Hitler.
Saddam Hussein was killing his own people, dropping chemical weapons on them.
Yeah.
Dude, do you think he killed nearly the amount of people?
Yeah,
Not
but that's
even
like-
close.
So it makes you
You didn't
great
take them-
at what you did if you murdered millions of people.
Yeah, if that's what you're doing is killing people, and you want to say
Yeah.
who's the better killer, Hitler or Saddam? Hitler was the
I think
better.
that's where we started. This
Hitler was the
conversation.
better Satan.
This is where we moved.
You're
to.
manipulating my
No,
words.
this is where we moved to.
This is where
the first
Hitler-
words that came out of Matt's mouth was Hitler was great.
Not in the way you think.
His
I meant.
occupation.
In his occupation, like
I
Alexander
don't even
was.
think that's a job.
He was a
Like,
terrible fucking person, but he accomplished things.
Yeah,
Hitler was a leader.
He accomplished
and
what he
Hitler
wanted
was
to.
not a.
He
great
wasn't a leader.
Yes, he was.
he wasn't.
Hitler was a leader.
He was like a boss, like Hitler.
Hitler
No,
was,
he wasn't a boss. He was a leader of Germany. He
Noah, you're
led-
yelling. I need you to stop
He
yelling.
led.
No, he's
the
a leader
German
of the
forces.
Nazis. No,
Well,
he led the Nazis. Germany was the first country that the Nazis took over. Don't accuse Germany of.
And like you
the
gotta think,
Nazis.
a lot of the medical advances we have now
so
in
we're just
today's
gonna
medicine.
go with Hitler is a boss and not a leader.
Well,
He-
think about it. I mean, you're
he
talking about
didn't-
Kim Jong Un killing people. If you don't agree with me, Hitler had his devout.
Kim Jong Un is still a leader. He's a leader of North Korea.
But what I'm saying is, you like
he's not a boss.
Hitler had
Him motherfucking boss,
Hitler's fucking.
I feel like we're arguing over the stupidest shit right now.
Well, you come up with something better.
I feel like you should cut out the thing where I said.
I'm getting rid of the entire thing that says Hitler was
Why-
great.
why-
Why?
What?
Why?
Well, we're taking a vote on that, and I feel like we're
Yeah,
about to get
I
rid of it.
keep
Leave
that.
That part in, and the part where I said, Matt, why do you hate Jews? And then you cut the rest.
Yeah, fucking,
No.
You know it's still recording, right?
Oh, fuck, it's hot.
I feel like we're gonna cut this part.
Yeah.
Well, just delete like
Fucking.
Doesn't matter.
It
Hitler
don't
was a
matter.
leader, not a boss.
but
And
the ideals behind it,
sure,
like a
if you want
leader.
to say he was great at being a murderer.
But
awesome,
no, but
he
a
was
leader
not
is
great
someone
at
that
being-
wants the people around him to succeed.
Doesn't
Like a
wasn't a
boss, like wears you down. Like your piece of shit boss at work. He's not a leader. He's a boss.
Pretty much. That
Not
pretty
a
much.
Target. They're all called leaders.
Team
We're not
leads.
allowed
They're
to
all
call
called
them
team
bosses.
leads.
We're not talking about fucking Target.
Like,
I mean, Target's basically the same as Nazi Germany. So
We're
that's all
not
I'm
talking
saying.
about Target.
So we just lost out on a Target sponsor. So
Yo,
At least we got Walmart.
we don't want to be associated with Hitler, so.
I'm not saying Hitler was a good person. I was saying he was good at what he did.
Clearly, because he
murdering.
succeeded.
Yeah.
Not
okay.
even murdering.
That's
he,
what
like,
we said in the first place.
No, but it's like he
Okay,
took
yes,
a country
alright.
out of a Great Depression that America caused and built it back to a super.
wait a minute.
Yeah, America caused.
We caused it after they
World
started
War
World War
One.
One.
I know, but I'm not saying they deserved it. But I'm just saying for a single man to do that is pretty fucking impressive.
Not only that, but just fucking. I mean, you brought up Bin Laden and Saddam. Like,
I'm not a Nazi. I'm just putting that out there.
I'm glad they're dead. If he was in front of me, I'd kill him right now.
Exactly, but I'm just saying that the
But, oh my
imprint,
God. We're not getting into that shit.
the imprint that those men
Tupac
left in
in Cuba.
history
Well,
is pretty fucking substantial.
There was a theory that Hitler, fled to the moon.
Bullshit.
No, but
I
there
got a
actually-
real theory
there
on this
actually
about
is
South
a-
America.
No, but there is really a theory
Did
that
you
Hitler
play
fled to the
Wolfenstein? Is that what this is coming from?
No. There actually is a real theory, a big theory that Hitler fled to a Nazi base on the moon, and there was also one about fleeing to Antarctica.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you about the one that actually has evidence behind it. Do you guys want to hear about it?
Go for it.
So you know how the Russians were the ones that said they supposedly found
And I've heard this one, by the way.
Hitler's body, right? Well, the
Yeah.
thing about this is they actually have like this is the one who's got like heavy evidence. Okay, they found this. They found the. They found. Okay, so they got the Russians said, okay, we got the body of Hitler. He fucking killed himself. Well, they
Yeah.
kept the skull as a fucking trophy.
Yeah.
They did tests on the skull and found out it was that of a 35-year-old woman.
Holy
Yep.
shit, really?
That skull was not real.
So
now
where's
there
the
were
The real
pieces.
skull wasn't his.
There
Yeah.
were pieces of teeth that they found, and one of the dental records showed that it was Hitler's, but they never found a
in
body.
that skull?
No, just like laying around.
Just laying around.
But they never found the body, so anything could have happened, really.
Yeah.
They fled to.
But what happened was some of the Nazis, higher ranking, they actually escaped, like the Doctor of Death and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Escaped to
Oh, yeah.
countries like Chile and
Uh-huh.
South America, Cuba and shit like that, because
Yeah.
Cuba was hard, and there was some like Cubans, they were harboring fucking Nazis.
Yeah.
And if you go to those countries now, especially Chile, I think they said it was like hundreds of thousands of Germans.
Yeah.
Towns are literally just Germans in the center of Hispanic fucking countries that are all descendants of the Nazi fucking soldiers that fled there.
Holy
so a lot
shit.
of people were thinking.
Well,
I mean,
I
there's
know-
been like there have been potentially true potentially true like accurate sightings of Hitler getting off a boat in South America, but like
So you're
his
saying
right
that
hand
Hitler
man
lived out his entire life.
he escaped.
Possible.
He
Yeah.
escaped to South America. His right Doctor of Death went down there.
Watch the thing about it.
The highest ranking officers in the Nazi Party escaped to South America.
But that's just
And
like
if you go to South America now, like countries in Chile,
Yeah.
you go up in the mountains, and they're not just like they're not fucking like the Germans like in Germany. They're still holding Nazi memorabilia. They're still fucking like following those like ways. They live
we
surrounded by Hispanics, so they're not going around fucking shit like that.
yeah, yeah, they're not
But
as
they're proud of their fucking ancestors. Like and they're
Wow.
all 100% descendants of fucking Nazis.
Well,
Holy
we also
shit.
And-
took.
Israel,
Nazis.
because when Israel was doing that whole thing about trying to find like all these officers,
Yeah.
and fucking take them back for trial and then fucking kill them, they were sending assassins to South America.
Israel was.
Israel was sending assassins to South America to take out these fucking
Holy
Nazis
shit.
that escaped that they
Well,
couldn't
now
find.
they're dead, probably.
Yeah, it's
or they're
just
like
their-
super old.
Yeah, now it's just their descendants.
Yeah, but
that's
there doesn't mean their descendants don't believe in the same ideology of the Nazis.
well, from what I understood, I was watching an interview with a guy who actually went to the thing, and they said they're not open with their
beliefs.
Nazi beliefs, but
Yeah.
inside their doors, they are fucking pretty much Nazis.
Holy
Well,
shit.
we also had the paperclip project.
So we got fucking Nazi
Paperclip
Germany living in
project.
fucking
Yeah,
South America.
Hopefully they don't rise again.
you know that, right?
I don't think so. I don't
You
know.
know that, right?
What?
We had
But you
the
know-
paperclip project.
What the fuck's the paperclip project?
But you know the current
We took
president of
Nazis,
fucking
Nazi scientists,
Oh, okay.
brought them to the
Argentina
United States.
is an ex-Nazi.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
The ex president of Argentina.
No, the
or
current president was an ex Nazi like supporter, believer, whatever.
Holy shit! How
Yeah,
the
he
fuck
was-
does
well, I
he become
get-
the president of Argentina?
I don't
then?
fucking know. I think it's Argentina. I could be wrong. It could be Chile or
Yeah, somewhere.
like yeah.
But
I
regardless,
think
how
it's
does he get
Argentina.
into political power like that?
I don't fucking know. I
That
guess
is
you just
crazy.
denounce your like past. I mean, look at isn't it Castro's brother that's in power in Cuba right now? Yeah, and I mean, look at what Castro did, but his brother somehow made
Well,
it into
Castro also
office.
turned on his family.
Yeah, but
you
you know
know.
what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, like y'all wouldn't vote Jeb Bush into a fucking White House because I know
Right.
what the Bush family can do to the fucking
Right.
United States. So
Yeah, it was.
that was a fun little history lesson. I thought was awesome.
Yeah,
Where did Albert Einstein come from?
Germany,
I
right?
don't know. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
thought. That's what I was
yeah,
saying. Yeah,
yeah.
so-
Jew. That's why.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he had the accent.
Well, yeah, but I mean, but it's just crazy to think like, where would we be at today if the Germans?
Einstein's a Jewish name, but what are you saying?
I was just gonna say like, it's crazy to think like, where would we be at today if
Probably
the
s-
Germans got to the atom bomb first.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Nuke DC or New York. Would it be like the game Wolfenstein, or
I don't
would it be
know.
like the show The Man on the
Well,
High
we
Castle?
were kind of like.
I was about to
I don't
say,
know if
did
Germany
you
would have
see
taken
Man on
a
High
shot at us like right away, and I
Well,
feel like
because we
would've
weren't
done
as
pretty
heavily
low.
affiliated with Germany until like what 5 years into the war or 3 years
No, I think
until
we just minded our own business.
well
Yeah,
until
till
Japan
Japan
attacked
came in.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're like, now it's our problem.
We minded our business, but we sold weapons
Yeah,
to
yeah,
both
that's
sides.
what-
That's why we stayed out of it, because we made a lot of money.
Yeah.
Help get us out of the depression.
Yeah.
Actually, World War II got us out of the depression.
And then Pearl Harbor happened, and then we were like, well, I guess we gotta go to war now.
yeah, and then our
So,
economy skyrocketed.
know-
So a lot of people think that we helped kind of
Fun little
provoke
fact.
Pearl Harbor so we can get ourselves out of the depression. Some people think that, and it's not
know.
impossible. It's not
Yeah.
impossible. Just like advanced civilizations helping people build pyramids.
Yeah.
This is stuff that has a lot more
Yeah.
authenticity behind it
Yeah.
as far as
Fun little fact.
Potential.
Do you know that when Pearl Harbor happened, a good percentage of those people
they thought it was a.
were sleeping?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
And the people over in Japan, like the officials and everything, they sent a letter over and everything declaring declaration of war, whatever. And
Yeah, you didn't know
they
about that?
said, no, I didn't. I just said fun fact.
Oh, okay.
I'm explaining it to you. I obviously knew about it.
Debatable.
No. And yeah, they sent that shit over, and it was like a holiday, or it was like something time sensitive, and
Yeah.
they didn't get it. And when it happened, a lot of those people were sleeping.
Yeah.
And the people back, they were very shameful for doing that, because
Who you
in
talking
Japanese
about,
culture,
Japan?
yeah,
Yeah.
in Japanese culture,
Well, it's dishonorable.
Yeah, it's dishonorable.
Yeah.
So,
Well, another fun fact is a lot of people were awake and they actually thought it was the.
Fireworks or something?
No, they thought that the Air Force was putting on a public show.
No way.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden
Damn.
they just watched bombs come from
Well,
the planes.
I
They were
heard-
clapping and shit and like cheering, and then boom, 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 boom. They
I
just
heard
started
a
dropping
thing
bombs,
that
and they're like,
there's-
"Fuck, it's not a show." But there was another thing that Japan. I can't remember if this was like post. If this was supposed to be instead of Pearl Harbor, or if this was like after Pearl Harbor, that Japan actually did like these simulations
Oh, I
of
believe
invading
that.
the United
I
States
believe that.
on our own turf.
Yeah.
And they determined that there's no way that they could win if they invaded us. So I think what the,
That's why they went after
that's,
Hawaii.
that's what they did.
then.
Pearl Harbor, just
Yeah.
bomb them from planes instead of trying to invade.
speaking of simulations,
I mean,
Just-
it was on paper.
hold on,
simulations.
speaking
of
They didn't use it on
simulations-
maps and
listen,
shit. They're like,
listen.
you can't fight in the mountains.
speaking of
It's not gonna-
simulations, just about 3 or 4 months ago, Russia did a simulation of their new bomb.
Yeah, and they used.
and they used Florida.
I thought they
Was
used
it-
Texas.
No, it wasn't
they
Texas. It
used
might have been
Florida,
Uh-huh.
As their target.
A target. They
Putin-
say it wasn't.
Putin's
Florida,
not gonna
but
fucking.
It looked like it.
I'm not worried about Putin. I'm worried about everybody else.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but Putin,
I mean, it's just,
Putin's-
but we've
I
been
think China's
flexing
the
our.
scariest one.
We've
Putin, us and the United States and Russia are just fucking flexing our muscles.
Yeah, that's
every
what I was
now
about
and
to
then.
say.
That's
We're
all they're
flexing.
Dick
doing.
is
Yeah.
bigger is basically what it is.
much.
I feel like each president, like President Trump and Putin, should just get in the ring and fight it out. Be like, stop getting us involved.
Wait, have you seen Putin shirtless?
I know
He would
the
win.
dude was ex Spetsnaz.
They just do like an online Fortnite fucking battle royale.
dude, be like,
100 versus 100 is all the soldiers we need. We're good.
let's just make all wars simulated now, so no death, no loss. I think it's a good idea.
You can do it like that show, Deadliest Warrior. They can simulate it, and then whoever wins the simulation gets, instead of killing actual people. Then there you
Don't
go.
they do it like a lot of times?
well, they
Yeah,
run
it's
it
like
through
I
like
think
a
it's like
hell of a ton of
100,000.
times.
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So it's pretty accurate, I'd say. But I completely forgot I was talking about. No, I was going to say about Pearl Harbor is that I heard the pilots that flew from Japan only had enough gas to get to Pearl Harbor, and that it was a suicide mission. Suicide
yeah,
mission.
yeah, I heard about a lot of them. Yeah, a lot of them knew they weren't coming back.
Yeah, but it was a suicide.
Yeah,
like they
they knew,
ensured
yeah,
that they weren't going to
like,
get
you're
back.
They did
by
it
the
all the
gas.
time,
You're
too.
a
What do they call them?
kamikaze pilot.
Kamikaze.
Yeah,
You know,
kamikaze pilots. Yeah.
They did it all
That's
the time.
actually like
Remember
one
the
of
South Park where they're the
Oh
whales?
my god!
Japanese people were like so hell bent on
Fuck
killing
you,
whales.
Raz! Fuck you, Daffy!
They just fucking like just drove their planes into the ocean to kill the dolphins.
And then
Cartman gets out. He's like, "Oh, guys, Japanese people really do not like whales."
is that the episode when Stan became a part of that like whale protecting team?
Whale Wars, the show.
Yeah, yeah.
And they didn't do anything.
No.
And then, like they're like throwing like Molotovs and shit over the other boats, and like that guy, he's like and they shot the fucking harpoon from the Japanese boat and like just hit the fucking
Yeah.
main character of the show.
And he's like, oh, he's dead now.
That was funny.
No, but
And they
that's
changed the picture of World War II.
Oh yeah,
to cows and chicken.
and they're like, "Fuck you, cow! Fuck you, chicken!" Oh,
that was funny because they were like, they're at what's it called? The fucking water thing.
The water.
Water shows they do. In
Oh
America.
yeah, like SeaWorld.
SeaWorld, yeah. And then
Yeah.
Japanese people came into the pool and just started stabbing the orcas. And they're like, why do Japanese people hate fucking whales and dolphins? And come to find out, the president of the United States gave him a picture after World War II of dolphins and whales flying the bombs that dropped on Hiroshima. And they thought it was dolphins and whales that did it. That was funny.
Dude, I fucking love South Park. So.
All right, guys, this shit's been running for a while. It's getting late in the day. It's the 4th of July, so we're going to head out and enjoy our Independence Day. So, you know what? Everybody have a great day. See you guys on the next one.
But before we go, to set the record straight, I am not a Nazi, and I don't support Hitler, and none of us are Nazis. Just saying.
Yeah, and if you believe the earth is flat, you're fucking dumb.
Happy 4th of July, guys. Peace.